Hello, everybody. It's Angel of Yahweh. Hopefully, I'm in a better mood today than I was yesterday. Well, yesterday was the anniversary of my dad's death, so good. And one could be moody. So today is November 8th in the Patriotic Almanac. Bless you. Get no sneezing. Um, Presidential trivia. Which president served two non-consecutive terms? Hint: he was elected in 1884 and again with 1892. With Benjamin Harrison serving as president between his two terms. Answer below. So, which president signed the Declaration of Independence? Which two presidents signed the Declaration of Independence? Answer: John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Which president signed the Constitution? George Washington and James Madison. Which presidents served the shortest term in office? William H. Harrison, 31 days. Which president served the longest? Franklin D. Roosevelt, 12 years and 39 days. Who was the youngest person to be elected as president? John F. Kennedy, at 43. Who was the youngest person to become president? Theodore Roosevelt, 42. Who was the oldest person to become president? Ronald Reagan, 69. I think Biden's got that one beat. Who was the only president to resign? Richard Nixon. Which presidents were impeached? Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton. Which president served two non-consecutive terms? Which president served two non-consecutive terms? Grover Cleveland. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Vicky. Which president was never elected either as president or vice president? Gerald Ford. Which presidents were elected even though their opponents received more popular votes? John Q. Adams, 1824. R. Hayes, 1876. B. Harrison, 1888. And George W. Bush, 2000. Theodore Roosevelt was 22 in 1901, which he succeeded McKinley, who had been assassinated. John F. Kennedy was 43 when elected president in 1960. So, American History Parade, 1889. Montana becomes a 41st state. In 1892, former President Grover Cleveland defeats incumbent Benjamin Harrison to become the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms. In 1932, New York Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt defeats incumbent Herbert Hoover to become the 32nd U.S. president. In 1942, U.S. and British forces land in French North Africa during World War II. In 1960, Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy defeats Vice President Richard M. Nixon to become the 35th U.S. president. In 2000, Florida becomes a statewide recount of ballots to decide the winner of the presidential race between George W. Bush and Vice President Al Gore. Remember that one. Tomorrow's going to be about Benjamin Banneker, and November 10th is the Marine Corps' birthday and flag. Hoorah. Thank a Marine today. So, change my backdrop. Breaking news. Breaking angel news. Trump won and Biden cheated. So. There we go. There you go. I'll drop that link. Hoping my coffee warms up soon. You ever have a craving for something and not know what it is? I want something. Couldn't tell you what it is, but I want something. Hello.
Hey, how are you, Angel?
I'm good. You ever do that?
Well, I didn't hear that part. When I code log in, I'll hear you.
That's it.
Hey, how are you, Angel?
Y'all ever crave something and you don't know what it is?
Yeah. Part when I code log in, I'll hear you. Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, how are you, Angel?
Hi, Gitmo. Hi, Gitmo. The Gitmo.
He got his powder.
It really, I was amazed that even at Ace's age and condition, he actually tries to run down the hall on the. It's really good stuff. It really is.
Hey, Gitmo. Hey, buddy.
Hi,
Gitmo, can I have a smile? Can you smile for Aunt Linda, Gitmo?
Can you get your butt out of the camera?
Does he have a sweater?
Not yet. I need to get him one. He wants this.
Yeah. Is that an apple or a ball?
Tennis
A
ball.
Oh.
It's a Kong ball.
Oh, those will be queued up in 2 seconds.
It's going in. It's fading in and out of your green screen. It looked like it was from outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely see the CGI. The ball.
You get the ball.
Now you have a tail growing out of your arm. Just a tail. Nothing else.
Yo, I got up this morning, which is about I had a really bad creak in my neck. And I told my husband I was going to make him some coffee. And not even made some coffee. It's like this creak in my neck. I couldn't hold my neck up, and I got really, really dizzy.
Well, your audio is making a creaking sound. Is that you moving your neck?
No, it's just standing here. I'm just holding it. I'm not doing nothing.
Well, it sure is making weird creaking sounds, your audio.
Go out.
No.
It's almost like that mouse in the cage, except he's not running very fast.
That might be Gitmo squeaking.
Oh, you think that's Gitmo?
Hello? Better?
This is Gitmo squeaking his ball.
What?
Is that better?
Yeah. It's Gitmo's ball that's squeaking.
Oh. Blame it
Gitmo,
on
get
Blame
down
on
here. Wait. Stop squeaking. Or get down.
Hi,
Get
Gitmo.
down.
Oh,
Nice to squeak on camera.
good boy. Good boy, Gitmo. What a sweet boy.
He knows.
At least Ace didn't pee in my bed when the puppy came today.
Uh-oh.
I didn't puppy.
Go ahead.
I didn't touch the puppy today, so it was better that Mama doesn't touch puppy and Mama gets a dry bed.
Damn.
Liberty Warrior was covering some stuff that, because I've been asleep all day,
Roger?
that is spooky. I thought I moved that the other way. That thing is so big and heavy. They're shutting down the existing pipeline going from Canada through Michigan to stop the oil coming in.
Ah,
I thought when I heard about it that it was when they were digging and making, like the other one was that he did it when he first came in. That pipeline was still in the process of being created. I thought they were talking about the same kind of thing when they were talking about this one, but they weren't. It's one that's been producing oil, bringing oil in from Canada into the U.S. for years. And so they're going to shut it down so the oil doesn't come in.
putting it up. Nope.
To effectuate Biden's cold winter thing. They have not shut it down yet, but they intend to shut it down.
Yeah.
And then this other dude got on that works in the coal industry, and he said that the plan
Mega
that
door.
they actually have already issued instructions to decrease the flow of the oil in the pipeline he works for or works with. So
Did you hear about the snowstorm coming?
no, I didn't hear that. Is it coming to you?
It's gonna be like it's gonna hit some part of Indiana, but not all of it. The temperature is supposed to drop this week. It's coming from Canada. It's like a big circle, and they said it's gonna hit Michigan. It's gonna have snow, and the temperatures are gonna be abnormally colder than usual. But it's supposed to hit this weekend.
Mama Liam's here went out while we were on the phone last night. We were talking on the phone, and all of a sudden, all kinds of noises going on behind her. I mean, that thing was loud. And when I talked to her today, it's not fixed, and it's not going to be for a while. So she's without heat, except for the two tiny room heaters she managed to buy today. So her son has one, and she has one. But they have to stay in their rooms under the covers. So if it's going to get cold down there, she's going to be in trouble. But they're stopping the heat from getting. They don't want us to have heat this winter.
Well, who cares what they want? It's what Jesus wants.
No, it's what they want, unless he stops them.
That's what I'm saying.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Well, maybe people need to see that.
They have issued a ruling, quote unquote, that when you sign your children up for school, to give them the vacation. They no longer, that is their permission to give your child a vacation without you knowing about it. And they, in West Virginia, have already begun it. And they went in, put all the children up against the wall, walked around and gave them all, and didn't let them out. Blocked them in the room. They could not leave the room. And they also now have a ruling, 2 up, you must have a vacation or you cannot travel into the United States. Now they did that with 5 and up right before they got it approved for the vacation. Now they're saying 2 and up. And, I just blanked on the university, but I think it's West Virginia. I think it's the University of West Virginia is doing a study and getting participants for testing from 2 to up. 2 to 5 are being tested now, and they're only going to run the test for 48 weeks. That's not a test, by the way.
And it's not a vaccination. Oh, Jabberwocky.
It's not a vacation either. And they have just
from hell.
They also have actually discontinued the contract with Johnson & Johnson and with that other one that starts with an A that my tongue gets confused with.
AstraZeneca.
Zeneca.
They've violated. They've canceled. The federal government canceled the contracts with both of those. So the only one out there now is Pfizer. And I was watching the race yesterday and saw Pfizer commercials, and they are saying that their vacation has been approved.
It's not though. So.
It's
Did you see that? Have you been on Facebook today?
Only glimpses. Only glimpses. I was at work. So.
Well, you see that I posted something. It's 27. It's what it was. It's a doctor from. I can't think of it. There's this guy, a senator, met a round table with all the victims, and they were telling all their stories. And some of these people are research. They are doctors. They are executives. They all walks of life. Talking about the damages. And this one guy, it just broke my heart. He was the only single father with only one kid. 16, died with myocarditis.
Oh, that's the other thing. They now are putting an additive to the current syringes.
Oh yeah, so they can't have that.
So that it is a reduction in blood clots. However, they are not identifying what it is they are putting in there. And the very fact that they add anything to it takes it out of even the emergency approval.
Because that's a different formula altogether.
Yeah. However, according to what they say, and we know that only what they say is not anymore, but only what comes out of somebody's mouth is relevant. And what they're saying is that it makes no difference in the overall emergency authorization. That they are adding that, but nobody has been able to drill down and find out what it is yet. And it's not a blood thinner. They have pretty much figured out it's not a blood thinner, but they don't know what it is. They just add.
This is just a 1 minute clip. It's from El Dono Trumpo.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one.
When?
Today.
Because
It's called About
Tuxedo.
It's called
that looks
yeah,
like tuxedo weather. I mean tuxedo.
It's about Brandon. It said. Here we go.
Now our leaders are a laughing stock all over the world. You just saw what happened to Joe Biden on his travails in Europe. That wasn't good. He went to see the Pope. He was a little late. What the hell happened to him? Does anybody know what happened? Don't say it.
That's a nice smile.
That doesn't look like him. That does not look like him. Wrong eye. Look at those eyes, Andy.
Well, I don't look like
still
him.
haven't figured out, was that young, attractive female reporter, was she trying to cover up, or was she being nice? Did she not understand what was happening? She works for NBC, so it's about 94% sure that she knew exactly what she was doing. Anyway, well, Brandon's become a big star. Nobody ever heard of this guy. Now he's one of the biggest stars. Nobody ever heard of him. Brandon's a star. But I still like the first phrase better somehow. More accurate.
Yeah. He liked the first one better.
NASCAR has filed lawsuit against any and everyone that is using the NASCAR colors, any of the logos, and they are using the colors and logos on the shirts. And these people are going, NASCAR is bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Just the what's his name? What was it? What's he called? What's the head of the NASCAR commissioner? He's so liberal.
I don't know what his title is, and I don't even know who.
He's an ant.
He's the head guy, whatever.
Some of our asses, but not. There is one that isn't, and he is the one who made all the decisions about continuing the racing.
They're just drawing more attention to it. That's all they're doing. So
It says I think 99% of NASCAR fans are Republicans, conservatives, and diehard conservatives.
Diehard
Diehard conservative.
Guess who just dropped a video?
Who?
Monkey.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew that.
Spycraft to 85,000 feet.
Spycraft above.
you know what he says? Nothing's ever really to him. It's nothing really solid.
Well, you can see the planes was that tall.
And he's not going to see what the most important ones are anyway.
Well, he's been very accurate before, but when he gets too accurate, they tell him to back off.
Yeah.
He gets warnings, because he gets warned on, especially when he shows, what they call the senior living center.
And if he
He
shows,
called him Leslie Brandon now, but he was called him Flashbang.
yeah,
But he's he got in trouble for showing some of his
he also gets into trouble for showing the ones that are just not clocking their call signs. You can still see the plane there. You have to be able to, in order to miss them when you're flying. So the planes are slow, but they are not squawking, and they're complex. And he gets in trouble when he does too much of that.
Yeah. So let's watch a little bit and see what he's talking about. It's not very long. It's only 32 minutes long.
Your monkey. Sit rep. Almost said it. It's not Monkey Minute. It is your sit rep for Monday, November 8th, 2021, coming to you from the great state of Texas. About 6:30 p.m. time here. And without further ado, let's hop on over to our board. We're currently sitting at about 167 up. That seems to be about the average number this time of day. A couple items of interest. I did see that Night Watch, Gordo 16, actually took a little departure down to, looks like he was hanging out over the Gulf, did a little bit of routing down there and then back up. Now, that is basically your doomsday plane. So there is that one. It looks pretty light. Now, one thing I am noticing here is, let me get over here by type codes. I do want to kind of, let me hit filter and see what our number is looking like. Les Gordo, 28 right now. And I just noticed we got a pretty big batch up here in Washington State, and then Northeast again. A lot of activity on with these H60s up as of late. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if that number goes up or down. But you can see that's been going on here for a couple weeks now. So I suspect it is tied to human trafficking, if I had to guess, but let's see, the news will tell here soon enough. That is for sure. Now, I'm not seeing the activity that supports that headed down to the spa like we did before, but that could be because it is at capacity. So who knows? That is merely speculation, but let's hop over here real fast to the volcanoes. Things are just hopping. This one up here in Alaska is just killing it. I mean, that is a massive ash cloud. I mean, the distance, here, let's just kind of size this up. If you look at the length on that ash cloud and then look at the length on Alaska, the state of Alaska, which is massive. That thing's bigger than Texas, probably all the way across. Hawaiian Islands are right down here. And so this is another day of this thing spewing. This one down here, Ibu, and I think that is down in Indonesia kind of area. is also popping off. That's new. We've got 9 if you count these 6 running from Mexico. Actually, that's Central America all the way down to South America. These are pretty consistent. Pretty wild to see. And then La Palma, no letting up from that bad dude. Okay, so there is that. Let's get over here to Flashbang real fast. I want to take a look at his schedule for today. Now, it looks like he was over here hanging out at the beach in Delaware. And I would imagine, let's see here. And then this afternoon, he was giving a congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks because that is important to do. And then let's see here if we got anything else. They arrived around 9:40 a.m. So I did see that the transportation secretary is incompetent, but I guess he had a speech to make. Let's see how he's doing. So remember, they put $540 billion into the supply chain here in the U.S. a couple weeks ago. And let's see, has it improved anything? Now, these are off the coast. These are the cargo ships only parked off the coast of Los Angeles for Long Beach and Los Angeles ports. And I would say it's actually gone up, not down. If you get into here, look at this. What a cluster. I mean, and I mean that in a let's go Brandon kind of fashion. Okay. But look at all these boats. These are anchored. That is, I bet there's 250,000 containers between all of these. This is just insane. So like I said before about the jellyfishing, the problem has actually gotten worse and not better. And so there you have it. That is because they're completely incompetent. And that is what you would expect to come from this administration. So on that same note, speaking of incompetency, check this out. So this was a poll by USA Today on the Biden and the Harris job approval ratings. 38%. That's the approval rating. 38% and 28% by Harris. So, folks, this thing is just the bottom hasn't even hit yet. I thought he was Mr. October, but I think he's going to outdo himself in November. I wouldn't be surprised to see this dude down in the single digits at the rate this thing is going right now. He is a flop and a half. And so really bad for this country. So on that same note, let's get over here as we talk about flops. See what we got going on here in terms of TFRs. Now, this is looks like we got some security ones out here in New Mexico. We're going to look closer at that in just a minute. These are all space operations along the Gulf Coast, and then this one is over Cape Canaveral in the old stomping grounds there. And then these are also space operations related. Okay, so we'll kind of get in a little closer. Now, there is that little red one for security, but there is that. So it looks like they're going to be go for a launch here pretty soon. And then Warner Robins security up there over the base area. That is still an air show, or sorry, no, that is a let me just double check that. Yeah, air show. Okay. And then let's see, this is going to be your permanent TFR over the Flashbang residence, aka the Senior Living Center. Then we get over here to New Mexico, and this is the National Forest. Really interesting. I'm not sure what's going on. This is White Sands. And I will tell you, they have a sea of poppies out here at Holloman Air Force Base. But this is not related, and I don't know what this is related to. We see that from time to time, but this is a security TFR, not a space operations. And then this one, let's just double check what that is right there. Security, same thing. So typically you would see if it's White Sands testing, it's over the White Sands in that general area, and it's space operations. So I don't know what that is over the forest. I just find it interesting to have a security TFR over the forest. We've seen that before. Don't know. It could be a Branson launch or something along those lines. Looks like we got a monster of a storm rolling into the West Coast, which is much needed rain. And you'll notice our fireboxes are starting to go out. So that's a good thing. Okay. All right. Let me minimize this bad dude. And let's get over to couple of items of interest here. So this one I want to point out, I caught these early this morning, and I just kind of froze them on my screen. Now this is Spyglass. This is my favorite tool because it just, you can find nuggets like this that you can't find on other platforms. And so but these 3 birds right here, and right here they are actually balloons, I believe. They just sit, they're not moving at 0 knots. This one's at 85,000 feet. This one's at 80,000 feet. And this one is at 70,000 feet. Now, from here, it looks like they're over Canada. I will tell you, this one right here is over Crescent, Oklahoma. This one right here is over Baxter Springs, Kansas. And this one is over, let me just double check. That is Baxter Springs. Double check. Okay, this one is Baxter Springs. And this one is, oh, they're both, yeah, right on top of each other. One's at, there's a 10,000 foot separation between these two. I do find it interesting that all three have different icons, and I don't know why. Okay. If they're just different types of balloons, or these would be, I don't know, are they loon balloons or what's going on with that, folks? You're talking 85,000 feet. That is up there. But these are spy balloons. Okay. And so our government is continuing to spy on us. Now, I don't know what the reach is for these at 85,000 feet, how far out these things go. But I will tell you, they are gathering data 100%. Okay. And they got 3 of them. Now, if you remember, over Europe, we had 4 or 5 of them doing the exact same thing. So governments around the world are certainly watching all of us. Okay. All right. Now, let me hit refresh and burn on this. I want to pull up. Let me get into that. And I just want to see real fast what our numbers are relative to everything up currently. All right. Now you can still see. So the pink planes, like I mentioned before, the pink aircraft are going to be, these are folks that don't want to be tracked. Okay. I guess that's the only way you can really sum it up. All right. If you see a little green triangle, that bad dude is climbing. If you see a little blue triangle underneath the shape, that bad brother is level. All right. And if you see a red triangle, that one is on the descent. Okay. So like, for example, right here, you can see that one is red. And that's because that plane is actually descending, all right, from 24,400 feet. And so there you have that, all right. Really interesting, though. Notice our loon balloons aren't showing right now, if that's what they are, okay. All right, off the East Coast, let's see what we got. Anything interesting? Now, I don't see anything. We were looking just a minute ago over here at our TFRs. Let me get down here into Tampa area. See if we got any TFRs. We do not. Now, reason I say that is because Trump is there this evening giving a talk to, I think, the Republican National Committee or something along those lines. So you can see no preferential treatment. He's got no top cover. All right. So there is that. Now let me get over to our list real fast. I just want to see kind of what the spread is as we pull these up. Let's see here. And we'll go by type. So yeah, that H60 number is looking pretty heavy. 23 on this map. Okay. And then H64, we got 2. See what other helos we have up that are grabbing. EC45s, that's going to be trainers. I'm not too concerned about that. Well, may not be trainers. There's 3 of those up because they do fly those on other things too. But yeah, do have an A10 up. That's kind of interesting. And then we got 13 NAs. Those are folks that don't want to be seen. All right. Okay, let me back away from this. Step away. All right. Now, Top Cat, I just want to point this out. This was actually this morning. This thing was flying around. Actually, this is Sunday. Sorry, this is yesterday. This is Top Cat. Now, remember, Flashbang was up here hanging out on the beach. And so that is an R135 Top Cat call sign. And looks like he was running some routes in this general area, grabbing some data. I'm 100% confident we had fighters up again over this weekend as well. So seems to be the theme. That guy is afraid of his own shadow, I would imagine. Can't get out of your own way, I guess. So I don't know. I'm telling you, as long as he's in there, we need to all be sleeping with one eye open, because I can tell you our enemies are probably just licking their chops right now because we are so vulnerable. So all right, this is going to be Fort Bliss. One of the flights rolled out of here. This is actually Gray 44. If you remember the other day, I was showing you this little beach aircraft that it had like 1 million antennas hanging off of it. Well, it's basically a intelligence bird. Okay. And so it is out there collecting data. And so when this thing's flying around, these little tight circles like this are probably going to be a runway. If I had to guess, maybe not. typically you'd see a little pattern like that for landing, taking off, touch and goes, but maybe not. So it looks like he's out gathering some data around El Paso, which is it's good given the fact that we've got a sea of poppies in and out of that location, as well as 100 other immigrants coming into or tens of thousands, immigrants coming into that location. So, okay, so there's that. We were looking at it on Friday again. It was out there near Phoenix. I think it went out to California and came back. Okay, Gray 44. We'll continue to watch that one because it's again, it's a fascinating bird. It's been modified a gazillion times, and it's pretty cool. So, okay, this is going to be U.S. Transportation Command, CMB 181. Just want to point out where that one was headed on Sunday. That bad dude was in over in Italy, and then it flew over to Bahrain, and so it is currently there in Bahrain. More than likely, this bad dude is picking up some folks, if I had to guess, okay, bringing them back to the States. And so that is still ongoing. I know we don't hear anything about it in the news. It's not people that are actively, we're not flying into Afghanistan and picking them up. These are people that were moved out to various locations in the panic that took place, and we're still bringing them in just because we're processing.
Hello, Robert.
Country. And as our camps get clear on this side, they are, basically refilling the seats. So I guess you call that a warm seat swap, right? So this is the other one. It rolled out of Fort Bliss, headed over to Iceland. That was today, actually. And so you will probably see this one go from Iceland on across the drink. It looks like it stopped there for some reason.
Happy birthday, Robert.
Because that is a pretty long distance to there, although I'm sure it's a 767-300. That's an extended range, more than likely ER, what they call
Happy birthday to you.
But that is a Boeing 767 wide body.
Ooh, look at
Definitely
clean cut
has
Ed.
the gas to get across the drink, so probably just crew rest or something. So, but there it is. It's in Iceland. Okay. Now we get over here to Swift Air, where it started to kind of mellow out a little bit this evening. Now, this morning when I popped onto this, almost all of their planes were down here in south of the border. I mean, there's probably 9 of them, all down between Mexico, Guatemala, just all over the place. So looks like now they're back up here, although you do have this one 737-400 coming out of Alexandria, 72-hour holding facility, headed back into down to Border Town, which is going to be Valley. Now it'll be interesting to see if they're picking folks up and or dropping them off. So okay, there is that. That's going to be your Swift Airs. Okay, now let's get into the meat of it and look at Biggs Army Airfield and see what we had arriving today and departing today. And so Volk, now this one is Camp Douglas up in Wisconsin, has been very quiet for a couple weeks now, but it looks like we're starting to see some activity, a little bit of life in there. I don't know if they've processed everybody out and we're just starting to see some rotation, but we'll see that start to happen because they put, you're talking probably a total of 120,000 people when it's all said and done that are being moved around. So you're going to see a lot of movement because most of these airplanes are carrying 200-300 people tops. Okay. And so unless you're getting in the C-17s, but this one arrived, this is going to be Sierra Pacific. That's going to be little 737-500 coming in from Wisconsin. And then you had another one that's Omni Air. Now that's a wide body 767-300 that came in from Fort Worth Alliance. Now let's see where they went. So it looks like Sierra Pacific went to Tucson, Arizona from there. And then this one is that transportation one we just looked at that rolled out of here and went to Iceland. Okay. Now the one we want to watch is this one who looks like it's headed back to Baltimore, Washington. So BWI, and that's a scheduled departure for 5:45 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So there is that. Okay. So more than likely that thing's going to round robin and be taking some folks back. Okay. All right. Let's get over here to SVN. This is going to be Hunter, Savannah, Georgia. Hunter Army Airfield. Let's see if we got anything on the board. Not seeing anything. Normally we see some Southwest flights, but let me just bump in, see if we got anything over the weekend. There's all Mondays, getting into Sunday. Nope, got nothing. So it looks like Hunter, Army Airfield in Savannah is pretty much stagnant at the moment. Okay. Let me just double check something here over on Biggs. I do want to see what we had over the weekend, because this is when we're looking at that board, that's the arrival board for today. So over the weekend, we had one come in from Eastern Airlines from Cherry Point. That was on Sunday. Baltimore, that's a big one right there. So that's Atlas Air 767-300 coming out of Baltimore, Washington. So that was on Saturday. Note the flight time. Now, remember, we're talking about how they're moving people in the middle of the night. That flight departed Baltimore, Washington at 2:19 a.m. in the morning and arrived at Biggs at just before 4 a.m., 3:57 a.m. And that is going to be that's one of your Atlas Airs. Okay, it's a big bird. So yeah, they are definitely sneaking some folks around. It'd be really interesting to see what the data points are on these, like who's on that one. That I'm suspecting that is Poppies coming in. Okay. All right. And then there's your Omni Air coming out of Fort Worth Alliance. And that is again after midnight. Look at that. 12:27 a.m. So, okay, there is that. All right, let's get back over here. That was Hunter. We were talking about Volk earlier. So let's see if we got anything. There's that spa flight coming in from Tucson. And then it rolled out of there and went to Biggs. So more than likely, this is just pushing folks around, all right, doing the shuffle. Okay, now, just out of curiosity, if we had anything over the weekend. So, yeah, I mean, you can still see this is Friday. This is actually rolling back to Friday. So this is the last 10 days approximately. So, yeah, you can still see we do have a couple flights, Ontario, California, Delta Airlines. So there's a couple. All right. This is going to be Laughlin, Del Rio, and didn't see anything happening there today.
No, I didn't hear that, Robert.
I just want to see what we missed over the weekend. So nothing. So that's pretty good. Now that came in, that was last Friday. So we're good. We're up to speed on that one. So it looks like Del Rio has kind of chilled out a little bit. Let's see how long that sticks. Now, my understanding too is that the folks that are coming up in the caravan are, I guess they basically had a dengue fever or dengue fever outbreak, which you get that from mosquitoes. And so that slowed the herd down, thinned the herd out a little bit because people are getting sick. Evidently, it's just been running rampant within them. So, and so it looks like those have spread out a little bit. I don't know what the latest status is. They got to be getting close, though, for sure. And we'll see if the numbers match what we were told they were going to be. So there is that. Now, this is actually going to be a Texas Department of Public Safety. So think about highway patrol, so to speak, coming out of Austin, headed down to Laredo. That was an hour and 52 minutes ago. So it looks like we got some fresh legs coming inbound from that location. And that is, when was that actually? Okay, it's today. Just making sure. All right. Then let's get over here to Eurocopters. I just want to see if we got any fresh activity going on along the border. We do have 3 aircraft up here in that general area. But that one right there is, let me just see what we have. Looking at the call signs on there. Now that 140TX, we just looked at that. That's going to be one of your, here's right here. And that's another, I think that's Highway Patrol. Let me just double check. Yeah, Department of Public Safety. Looks like he's running up to El Paso right now. So there is that. All right. So maybe we're starting to see, we'll see what happens here. Laredo, El Paso. Let's see if we get anything going on. He actually looks like he came out of Alpine, and that's Marfa right there. I don't know if you're familiar with the Marfa lights. But that's the location where you can actually go out and see. It's just some weird phenomenon where the lights actually pop up. It look like they think they're gas release or something on the horizon, like UFOs. They're pretty wild. But it happens almost every evening. So pretty cool out there. Like I said, not too much there. So let's go C-101. This is going to be our deputy commander or I say commander or deputy director or the director, one or the other, C-101. Of Homeland Security. Looks like he was up there in Connecticut, the land of Durham, and back down to DC. And that was actually 6 hours, 11 minutes ago. So maybe we're going to get see a little traction, break traction on this Durham stuff seems like we're starting to see some bigger names drop, and the noose is slowly tightening. Be honest with you, it couldn't tighten fast enough for me, but this could have happened 3 years ago, and it wouldn't have been fast enough. So, but maybe eventually we will see some justice. So, all right. Speaking of justice, let's get over here to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and been very, very quiet. Now we do have an active trial going on right now. So we bump into the arrivals. Looks like for tomorrow, that's our normal Tuesday flight coming inbound tomorrow. But if we back up, let's just kind of look at the weekend. We did have an Eastern Airlines flight come in from Joint Base Andrews. That more than likely is going to be press, if I had to guess, and or jury pool, or probably press, if I had to guess. Okay. And that is for those big trials going on. Okay. And that is with the Shaka Khan. All right. So there is that. That's Guantanamo Bay. Now let's get over here to some of our agency birds that we see float in and out of Guantanamo Bay pretty regularly. 301 AZ, that bad dude started out in Stuart, Florida, and rolled out to the St. Simons Island in Georgia. And that was yesterday. Okay. And prior to that, he was down in Savannah, Hilton Head, and then was kind of buzzing around there all the way down in Orlando. So I don't know that one's actively engaged in anything Guantanamo Bay related, but when the White Hats do get re-engaged, we kind of have a little bit of back history on it, see if any of those apply to what we're seeing in the news. Okay, 302 AZ, this is a sister ship of that one, was over in Boca. Looked like it flew out to Pueblo, Colorado. Actually, it's scheduled to fly out to Pueblo, so it hasn't left yet. That's 7:50 p.m. That's departing here pretty quickly. And there's that. Now, it was out here in Minnesota on Friday, all right? And then back to Lauderdale. Okay. There is that. And then this is going to be our Phoenix Air. Now, this is showing under 853. I don't know. I think this is going to be probably our N183 PA. If I had to guess from a tail number perspective, a little G3 Gulfstream. But that one is coming back inbound now. It left Stuttgart in the wee hours of the morning over in Germany, flew to Iceland, probably fueled up, and then flew into Bangor, Maine, and then on down to Cartersville. That's home base operations. Okay. There is that. All right. Now I'm going to bounce back over here to Global ADSB Exchange and pray that it works, because like I said, it has not been working well for me as of the last couple times. It's locking up, getting a lot of that. So I don't know if anybody else is using it and having the same issues. I'm going to jump over here to Spyglass because ain't nobody got time for that. So, all right, so let's just take a little gander. I'm going to go just from straight up top to see if we've got anything. Bump our list away here just for a minute and see if we got anything of substance that's catching my eye. Florida, again, you got Trump is down here in Tampa this evening. I don't see really any air activity over the Tampa Bay area. We do have some stuff over here in the Palm Beach area, Cocoa Beach in general. And let's see, getting a lot of Navy birds that are flying around. Look like they're going across the drink a lot, like more than usual. Typically don't see too many of the Navy birds heading across the drink, but that looks to be where they're headed. Now, let me do this. I'm just going to bounce straight over to the military aspect of it, do a clean sweep, and then a reburn. And then let me see here. Let's go, Brandon. All right. All right. So this is what we're looking at right now, just from a military perspective. So let me get down here over Florida real fast and just see if we've got anything out here looming. So that's going to be a B350 coming out of South Florida, it looks like, and up to North Carolina. This is all trainer activity for the most part in here. And then let's see, over Texas, same thing here. This is for the most part some trainer activity. Now, we did have a couple B-52s. I see they've already landed. They rolled in and out of Barksdale. They were all the way out here off of like over Atlanta and back. So don't know what they were up to, but you don't see them breaking out to the East Coast very, very often. And looks like we got an air refueler here. Just took off out of that looks like kind of Crestview area, if I'm not mistaken. Hard to tell. That may not be accurate. So see, Horseshoe Beach, Florida. So that's where its current location. That's one of the other things. This thing is pretty amazing. Like when you click on it, I can actually go over here to this corner and it gives me notice like exactly where this thing's flying. So this particular one is over 922 Cheney Road, Decatur, Mississippi. Like that's where that airplane is flying. Like down to, I mean, the fuzz on a flea, man. That is just absolutely crazy. You know, I don't know how necessary it is to have it to that level, but that's what it does. So, but if you want to track and you know, I mean, doesn't get much more precise than that. So, all right, not seeing, let me just kind of get a side view here. New Mexico seems to have quite a bit of H-60 helo activity up as well. So that's in just south of Albuquerque. So, all right. So listen, I'm going to back us up here and I'm going to see if I can't get over. Let me get over across the drink. Really curious to see if we can get over here to Germany. Let me clear some of that. See if we've got high flyers up currently at the moment. Doesn't look like it. But let me hit my favorite list. See if that pulls up anything. That's our regular list. Let me hit my favorites. And we'll see on our watch list here. So yeah, it looks like we got one that is up there, right there. So let me button this one up. And let's get down there. They are going to be our guardian angels over. Let's see what their real location is. Oh, little anon there. That's kind of cool. All right. So let's bump in. Now, these are our high flyers. Now, this one's at 62,000 feet, 62,700. Not going anywhere. So this is going to be one of your, almost like a loon balloon. Okay. But that bad dude, I mean, just give you a perspective and see significantly higher than these other aircraft. Okay. But that one right there is over, let's see here, Lower Saxony, Germany. And this one here is over, really hard to see, Marks. It's in German. I can't, it's Germany. All right. Mark something. Let's see this one here. Nordum Farfernugen. I don't know. That's Germany as well. And then this last one here is also over Germany. So these two seem to be very, Siegelhoff is the other German one. Okay. So give you kind of an idea where they are. Those are spy birds. Okay. Just like the ones over the US right now. And so that is really interesting to say the least. They're up around the clock. I'm telling you, they don't go anywhere. They just sit and they are collecting data on the people. So if you're in Germany, just know you got these bad dudes right over your head on a regular basis. So again, most of our other apps aren't going to show these. I would imagine, I'll be honest with you folks, I would imagine there are probably hundreds
There's a link.
of these things all around the world because we just don't see them. We're not tracking them. We get lucky because somebody in this general area has antennas that are tied into OpenADSB Exchange that we're able to pull from, and we're actually grabbing these, whereas the other systems are not. Okay, and so pretty spectacular. So good stuff. That's Skyglass for you. So okay, listen, that is going to be it for our sit rep tonight. So hit that 30-minute mark and
Hey, Ed, look at you. You get a haircut or something?
No, I got my hair pulled back.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I saw an ad, not an ad, that Jill, that lady, was promoting the Jabberwocky for the little kids today.
Yeah. Evil does evil things.
Something else
Yeah.
I was going to say, but I forgot.
Happens.
Daily.
Do you feel any better? You still got a fever or?
Yeah, I've had a fever today. I've just been resting. I drink some tea right now. I don't have much appetite, but I did manage to drink some chicken broth.
Yeah.
But I just not much of an appetite. Found out a friend of mine at work, at church. I mean, got the sickness, and
Yeah.
she has an autoimmune that she has to go get infusions all the time. And when they give her the fusions, I always give her a vitamin cocktail in an IV, a mixture.
Yeah.
She just woke up with a fever.
That this report.
Yeah.
And she's a mother of 4. I think she wanted just to check it out. I don't know. She's been, I don't see her to be a type to get her kids that. I mean, her kids are homeschooled.
If you're lucky enough to do that, it's great, But this is Mr. Potato Head lashing. This is from the DC Shorts. It says Biden lashes out a reporter about asking about the 450,000 migrant payments. So
You said last week that this report about migrant families at the border getting payments was garbage.
Well, I didn't say that. Let's get it straight. You said everybody coming across the border is $450,000. Remember, I was your point. Now, here's the thing. If in fact, because of the outrageous behavior of the last administration, you coming across the border, whether it was legal or illegal, and you lost your child, it's gone.
Oh, for goodness
sake.
sakes.
Some kind of compensation, no matter what the circumstance. What that would be, I have no idea.
As you were leaving for your overseas trip, there were reports that were surfacing that your administration is planning to pay illegal immigrants who are separated from their families at the border up to $450,000 each, possibly $1 million per family. Do you think that might incentivize more people to come over illegally?
If you guys keep sending that garbage out, yeah, but it's not true.
So this is a garbage report?
Yeah.
Okay, so
$450,000 per person. Is that what you're saying?
That was separated from a family member at the border under the last administration.
That's not going to happen.
Your administration is negotiating cash payments for some illegal immigrants who are separated from family members under the last administration. Why give taxpayer money to people who broke federal law to get here?
I like this question. We talked about this yesterday.
Of the point, which is that these people broke the law to come here, and they are going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money.
A couple of things. I mean, I cannot speak to this from here. This is the Department of Justice.
They said no comment, so we have to ask you.
Well, and I'm telling you that this is in litigation, and so you have to talk to the Department of Justice about this. This is not something that I can speak from here on the particulars or the specifics. But I said this to you yesterday, Peter. One of the things that we have to remember, why we're in this place that we are today, is because we had an administration that had an inhumane, immoral policy that was taking babies away from their families, from their mothers. That was the policy of the last administration. That is why we are here today. And that's you asking me this question that I actually cannot answer, because you got to go to the Department of Justice to get the particulars. But let's be clear, that's why this is happening today.
There is a long line to get into this country legally. Is there any kind of discussion about giving people who are coming here the right way money?
Why would we be giving people who are coming here the right money?
Why are you giving people who came here the right way?
I mean, but I don't understand the question. What is you're saying that we should give people just money who are coming through? I don't understand the question.
You're giving people who immigrated here illegally money.
Like I said, that's the Department of Justice. you're going to have to ask them that question.
Okay, so Mitch McConnell and Chuck Grassley have written a letter to the Attorney General. They say that any settlements to illegal aliens because they violated the law are wrong. Does the president agree with that or disagree with that?
So yesterday I addressed and I clarified the president's comments on the thinking on this, because you asked him a question and he answered it directly. But anything about the process, again, anything about the specifics of the particulars, I can't answer from here behind this podium. So you would have to go to the Department of Justice.
Then to internal White House processes, when the ACLU heard the president dismiss the idea of $450,000 payments the other day, the ACLU came out and they said he may not have been fully briefed about the actions of his very own Justice Department. So is the president being kept out of the loop about immigration policymaking?
Again, Peter, the president was asked, you asked him a question, a direct question, he was answering it. I cannot say any more than that.
Ridiculous. Did you see the Babylon Bee headline? They made a special seat for Ducey in there. It's got a piano hanging from the ceiling, but chords. A big grand.
Yeah. You got the wind again there, Silver Girl. I don't know what it is.
Is that her?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
He's got the squeak and she's got and Ed's got the squeak. I mean, Ed's got the squeak and you've got the wind. So
I backed my camera up. It should be quiet.
no, it's still squeaking.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's still squeaking.
I'm sometimes wondering whether it's you because there's nothing else going on.
That's my table doing that. I just can't touch the table.
Bullshit.
Let me see if I can.
All those kids that they protected from those illegal people coming across the border, that Trump got away from those, what is it called? Evil people bringing them across to tell them. That got protected are the ones that they're going to pay the smugglers money for. Smugglers are bringing the kids up. The kids did not belong to them. DNA said they did not belong to them. And in some cases, the children said they didn't belong to them. And so they were removed from the people they didn't belong to and put in safe places. And those people that brought them across the border illegally are the ones being paid, not the children.
All of those, what are they calling the ones coming up here to the U.S. and they're just going to force their way in?
Yeah.
They're all being bitten by mosquitoes and they're getting sick.
Yeah.
Or else they're being purposefully sickened.
And I thought about that too.
There's a new Weekend Warrior. It's about the Astro World thing.
Have you changed clothes so that you're no longer visible?
Me?
You're not visible. Yeah, you're totally
No, I just put the screen up, so.
Because you're not visible at all.
I know. I don't want to be visible today. I'm trying to be invisible today. But this is that one guy's show, that the satanic ritual show.
So Travis Scott, did you see the one on that they put together from the TikTok videos?
This has got some of the TikToks right here. This is one from the Weekend Warrior.
The TikTok videos that were put together into one broadcast with curl your hair.
Yeah, this is one of them. I'll go ahead and play. This is the Weekend Warrior. Let's see what this is playing. So.
Tell me what the hell that is walking across up there at the top. What is that?
13 years wide.
She's a crisis actor. That lady girl.
No, she's not. She's one of the fans.
Ooh. Why would people go to this? I think it's a game.
Alright, so shit, I'm about to do this video to let everybody know what the fuck happened to that asteroid, bro. Like, okay, so when I first got there, that's when Master P was performing. It wasn't that many people there, so I had went, you know, I got in the crowd. We was probably like in the middle of the crowd, but we was way in the front. And as everything was happening, I just felt like I was being crushed and like I couldn't breathe, and I almost like literally passed out. Like I felt like I was about to like collapse. So I started screaming and shit. So that's when like the people, they seen me just because of the fact that I was in the front. So they had pulled me out, you know what I'm saying? And then I had got out and I had just stood around like not in the crowd no more. But that was during the daytime. So look, let me tell y'all something. Look, all right, so this is when Travis Scott is about to hit the stage. All right. Something in my mind told me don't get in the crowd due to the fact of what happened to me earlier that day, you know what I'm saying, with the whole Master P, you know, audience and whatnot. So look, Travis Scott about to perform. It's probably like 100,000 plus people, you know, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just standing around in the barricades, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't as bad, but something told me don't stand in the barricade. I sat on the side, you see what I'm saying? I went all the way to like the end of the line, and I was like right there on the barricade, but I sat like, you know, like took a seat on it so I wouldn't be in the crowd like that. But I kid y'all not, bro. As soon as Travis Scott started, like as soon as he started, like all the flame, the fire, the fucking like the Phoenix and all that shit, and then he popped out, started going crazy, and like I'm telling you, as soon as he started going crazy, like the whole crowd started raging and shit. Everybody just screaming, help, help, help. Mind you, I'm sitting on top of the fence. So I'm looking down on everybody and I'm seeing all this shit happening, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers reaching and they crying. I'm trying to pull people out. So look, in the middle, it's a VIP section, like different celebrities and people who pay like thousands of dollars to sit in VIP section. Mind you, I'm pulling people out and I'm trying to pull them into that VIP section. That's where like people was pulling people in so they can breathe. So the people in the damn VIP section, they getting mad, talking about why the fuck you pulling people over here in our section? I'm like, man, fuck that shit, bro. These people about to lose their motherfucking lives, you know what I'm saying? So I pulled out this one boy. This boy, he probably like 14 years old. This a little bitty teenager, bro. This one lady, I kid you not, in the fucking VIP section, literally put her hands on this boy and associated this boy and started hitting him like, didn't I tell y'all don't jump the fuck over? So I end up feeling like, bitch, who the fuck is you to tell somebody what the fuck they can do? Like, bitch, this ain't your motherfucking concert, bitch. Don't nobody give a fuck about what motherfucking ticket you paid for. Like, these people need some fucking help. So I'm helping people, I'm pulling people out. And like, it just felt like we was like literally like in fucking hell, bro. Like, it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe. You couldn't see. Like, just imagine all the people they gonna find tonight who was in that crowd, who nobody could see, who nobody could hear, who passed out, and everybody was just trampling on top of them the whole fucking concert. Like, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like, I kid you not. Like, in the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People was getting pulled out who was fainted, and the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning them black and blue. Like I never seen death in my fucking life, bro. Just by me alone, it was probably like 10 fucking people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't responding. They moved to the next person. It was nothing they could have do. Like this shit really fucked me up and like really spooked me tonight. Like that was like some demonic shit. Like, and what was so crazy, like people were screaming help, trying to tell Travis Scott. They was like help. The whole crowd was just going like help, help, help. And he just kept going, bro. It was like that shit was scary, bro. It was so demonic, bro. And mind you, y'all see the type of music I make. Y'all see everything, like, you know, like I've been so heavily influenced by Travis, but like after tonight, bro, like God really showed me, like, you know, like stay away from that shit, bro. Like that shit not for you, cause like he sacrificed so many people's lives tonight, like for real. Like so many people's lives are gone tonight. because they wanted to go to a fucking Travis Scott concert and have fun. You know, he influenced people to be raging and all this shit. So many people broke in, and it was just chaos, bro. It was a living fucking hell, bro. Imagine seeing all those dead bodies, and that was just by me. And the shit got so bad, I was sitting on top of the gate. I was pulling so many people in, helping so many fucking people, and people was just screaming, crying, trying to ask for my help. I got so overwhelmed, I jumped down and I ran out that bitch and I left, bro. Like, this shit really happened tonight. And a lot of people, they, you know, hearing this shit, but like, watch tomorrow, y'all gonna see this shit was no fucking joke. Like, this shit really happened. So many people got injured, so many people died. That shit was so fucking wicked. Like, it was so wicked, bro. Like, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, put nothing on Travis Scott and call him Illuminati, call him no devil worship. But that's what the fuck it was, bro. We really went to a concert in hell, bro. You couldn't breathe. I'm talking about everybody was so crushed up on you. It was like literally no room for you to lift your chest up and breathe. Like, you couldn't move. You couldn't fucking breathe, bro. Just by the good fucking grace of God, I was in the front, so they helped me out. But I knew, and I even told people at nighttime, I said, bro, once the sun go down and the main stage opened up, I said, bro, do not go to that fucking the middle of that fucking crowd, because at nighttime nobody will be able to hear you, nobody will be able to see you. Something bad gonna happen, bro. And exactly like that, a lot of bad shit happened. A lot of people lost their lives, a lot of people got hurt. So any parents watching this shit, I would advise you to not send your motherfucking kids to no fucking Astroworld Fest. Let their ass stay at home. That shit was not fun. It was scary as fuck. Like, don't go. And if that bitch still is open tomorrow, don't send your kids. I really hope that shit get canceled. I know tomorrow this shit gonna be on the news for sure. But shit, that's all I gotta say, bro. All right.
I like to put it on the top of the pole and then get to slide it down. I make it rain.
He has been charged with and convicted of malicious something or other for 2 different concerts where he had a fan running through the security, telling them to come to rush the security and get up close to the stage, and a lot of people got concert, was charged and convicted with both concerts. He and his company that puts her, whoever puts him on, were sued also, and so was the venue, but his suit was convicted.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Dees.
You sound nothing but wind.
Hey, Vicky. Yeah, good. Mike's acting up, Silver Girl.
Yeah, you.
Evil. Absolutely.
We can't hear you very good, Silver Girl. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they say even.
I'll see you guys some other night. Bye.
You don't have to go.
I can't. Might as well.
Well, try to come out and come back in, like I did earlier.
It's not that. There's nothing wrong with the mic. It's just sitting under the light, and I can't help turn the lights out, so I'm not doing the dark.
Well, Right now, you sounded better for some reason.
Yeah, it was sounding like wind. I couldn't hear you over the wind. Now I can hear you. It's weird.
There's absolutely no wind. Believe me.
No, it was a glitch. Some kind.
Someone's got something open.
It's the same mic that Angel's using, so I don't know. And I'm not gonna mess with it.
It's better now. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. That's one of his album covers. Isn't that fucking weird?
You know, he sold himself to the dark side. Won't at least make him look better?
What does Control D do?
Control V.
Is it paste?
I'm not sure. No, it's Control V.
Control V is paste. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what?
Paste.
Oh, Control D is mute in StreamYard.
That's what I'm. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm suddenly getting a notice to do that.
Yeah.
When I put, instead of just, you know, like you click on the mute mic and you mute yourself.
Yeah. They made a bunch of changes in the update. So.
Oh, okay. I don't like it.
To see you on the other side, since people are saying to someone dying on the other side means a life after death.
So?
That's what he was putting up on his show.
That's the name of the show. That's his show's name. That's what they call his concert.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's wrong with that.
Yeah. And like they mirror everything, you know. It's like when they take something used for good, like butterflies, or you know, not a bad symbol, but they use them for a bad symbol, and they mirror it.
Yeah, that's when they distort everything.
Right.
Isn't he from Canada, Deeds?
I'm not sure.
I heard that he was from Canada, and I wondered how he got down here from Canada.
He knows Kardashians, that's why.
He's a Kardashian. One of the Kardashians is his baby mama.
And she's having another baby.
By him?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Mr. Oxide right there.
But everything he does is devil worship, satanic, everything. And every parent that had allowed a child of theirs to go to that concert should be put in Gitmo. Every single parent.
Now, if they're underage, they can't do nothing when they turn 18.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
But now they beat that poor little boy to death because he said, "You take my shoe," and he told the people to attack.
Yeah.
So I heard that they beat the little boy.
And beat him half to death. And it wasn't they really did damage to him too.
Man, there's gonna be so many damn lawsuits.
Who cares? Nobody's going to care because nobody except the family is going to care. And
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sure their families care.
They're not going to blame the guy that caused it.
I mean, they went after. I remember back in the '80s when Ozzy Osbourne had that song "Suicide Solution." Oh, we got 2 D's. Oh, I like that.
Double D's.
I've got that already.
That's what he said.
So, but no, I said, I remember back in the '80s when Ozzy did that song "Suicide Solution," which was about not killing yourself, but a kid, they said, listened to it and killed himself. So they went after Ozzy Osbourne, and he was like, "Did you hear the song? it's anti-suicide solution. You know, it's like, why not to kill yourself? You know, he's like, I can't help it if someone is crazy, you know, or someone but they were using it in that because they were pushing that Tipper Gore was going after all the artists and saying that, they should censor what people are allowed to put in their music. And even John Denver and Frank Zappa and Dee Snider all stood up and were like, no, freedom of speech covers music too.
Did y'all watch Mark today? Boy, he was pissed.
I mean, look what they're putting in videos. They're trying to normalize seeing the oxide.
So first, let me show you what happens when I move a regular magnet near the ferrofluid. You can see it just sucks it up to the magnet.
Lady Gaga,
She ain't no lady.
There's even some talk of using this sort of nanotechnology to target drugs. So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it in the entire body and it would all be dilute. But if we target an organ with a strong magnetic field, we can actually cause all of the drugs to go.
So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it
Angel,
in the
mute, please. Thank you.
Changing him.
Into what?
There could be a magnet used so that we could
target that stuff using the tiny nanoparticles, and then take the field away. It disperses throughout the body.
It disperses throughout the body. It disperses throughout the body.
So it's something people are working on. It disperses throughout the body. The entire body.
I'm glad I hung out in the morgue when I was a little kid and spent hours in the morgue because none of that stuff bothered me.
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
I mean, they're trying to normalize it. And it's like, this is from Travis Scott. I'm absolutely devastated by what took place last night. My prayers go out to their families and all those impacted by what happened at Astroworld Festival. Well, they pray, but not to our God. Houston PD has a total support as they continue to look into the tragic loss of life. I am committed to working together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. See the demon face in the background?
Mm-hmm. And people, this is 2018. People still go to the concert. That's how bad people are.
Well, the two concerts that he was sued over, one was 2017 and one was 2013. But he was in some kind, I don't know how they pulled off the flying object it was coming out of the fire, but it looked like that he was standing in the fire waving his arms, which were rings, and the Mothman is the one that he looked like to me, imitating the Mothman in the fire, and I don't know how, it had to be CG, but I don't understand how they did it.
I mean, it's hard to take the Mothman and say he's evil when the Mothman supposedly warns of danger.
Right. He warned to he even has been known to pull people out of a car. That was on film.
Yeah. 17 individuals. 17.
I like the Mothman. I liked him.
Yeah, have you ever seen that movie Pan's Labyrinth? Do not take your children to see it. It is not a child's movie. So.
We used to watch a little. They showed it all the time.
Where's Giggle?
Wasn't that David Bowie?
No, not that labyrinth. This one's called Pan's Labyrinth. It is
you.
not made for children. Do not let your kids watch that movie. It is evil. So it's about hell. So
see her? They said that she's you'll show her pictures on other events.
I mean, they do are crisis actors. We know that. So.
Oh, I was seeing a picture earlier. Someone posted a picture of that. A lot of these Sandy Hat kids are still alive, and they're working for the cabal. It looks like
Who is still alive?
What?
Who is still alive?
Sandy Hook.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that one I'll buy.
There's a lot of people like where did the people go when that plane just disappeared in Philadelphia when it was supposed to have run into a ground and it disintegrated during 9/11?
You know that the information is that the airplane that didn't hit the trade centers landed in New Jersey at the military base, and the people were gassed. That's what Snedeker said, anyway.
Possible, or they could have been shipped underground.
Yeah, I wanted them to be underground because then they'd be alive. But what he was saying, he had a bunch of, Sned. He tries to document what he says. I mean, but the military would have had to have done it. They would have had all those people on their base, and then they would have had to gas them.
Well, I mean, there's different militaries though. Some are militaries above ground, and some are militaries below.
Well, this was a New Jersey military base above ground, not below.
It could have still been a Black Hat base, though.
It could be, and it better be, and there better not be any white hats that gas Americans. There's no white hats.
I hope not. I hope not. But I'm gonna make some coffee. Look at that, a little Lady Gaga on the left, the right. That is all Lady Gaga. So
I think that's Beyonce.
No, the bottom right.
Drake, is that?
Yeah, that's Drake.
Oh, he incited the crowd. He ain't no better.
Yeah. No, but they're all. I mean, look at all the famous people. Follow the money, And they prop them up like they're freaking gods, and all these people have to look up to them and worship them like they're.
I like how that I like how that black guy, he says, "Who do you think you are? Just because you have money for these tickets? I'm trying to save people's life here."
Yeah.
Brave. He's brave.
Yeah. security guard pricked in the neck with a needle.
He absolutely needs to have his mouth washed out with lye soap, however.
He's just, that's how they talk. Yeah, actually, that's pretty nice. You should see how some of the kids talk in the neighborhoods I work in.
Doesn't make it right.
There was
I know.
there's a line of Judah. It says, what does it say? God, it says, it's probably saying something. It's talking about scripture on all this. A lot of Judah. I lost it.
It says, my son was there. Let's read this. It says, my son was there. Look, my son was there. He said frequency of the music made people have seizures and pass out. He told me that people were freaking out because out of nowhere people were having seizures. Then people were trying to move forward to see the people passing out. My son, Brian Martinez, said something inside him made him feel like he couldn't breathe, and then he freaked out.
So what happens is at a certain frequency, the ones that have had that jab, it prevents your blood cells from transferring the oxygen, and you actually feel like you're suffocating.
And it said that he freaked out and ran out of there with his life. Honestly, he is scared to death. Something is in the back that certain frequency triggers this. Because they all had to be Jabberwocky to go to the concert. They all had to have the Wookiee.
At a concert where everybody had to be either tested or have the jab to get in.
They had to have the jab. They couldn't go in without it.
It's a foreshadow of what's coming.
Yeah, the frequency made them all have seizures. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them have seizures.
Look at this combo.
Yeah, that's him with Mr. C.
I wonder which Mr. C, because that looks like a weird Mr. C.
Yeah, I don't see you, Todd.
Todd's circling.
Say that again.
He's circling and circling and circling.
Yeah. Stampede of lost souls.
And that's what they were, in all probability. Not one of them going to go to heaven.
Yeah.
And I blame the parents.
And look at the stage going out of the portal. It's an upside down cross.
Yep.
It sure is.
Uh-huh.
You can only tell it from the above like that.
Oh, did you guys hear Diamond Lil's story?
No. Oh yeah, about the seeing the cross.
Yeah, she showed a picture of it. She sees it every morning from 9 to 9:30.
Because she asked God to show her a sign that things.
Well, it's going too slow. Too many people are dying.
Pregnant Kylie Jenner uninjured after Travis Scott leaves 8 dead, says source.
Why is she so pretty? Seeing that trash.
But she dresses nice.
No, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Pretty clothes. She's on
belly, tummy.
She's just being a nice little old new mother.
Look at this. It says right here. I have to see what this says. It says the belly, baby, tummy, false pregnancy, artificial bump, pregnancy, fake belly.
So she ain't really pregnant.
No.
Nope. That means she's gonna find her one.
That's a damn good fake belly. I've never seen one that good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Hollywood.
There you are. It's right there. You can see where the girdle would be right up underneath her boobs. You can see right there on her boob where it is, where the bra is.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, if you wore one of them and put your shirt over it, nobody'd ever know it wasn't real.
No, with the shirt over it, you're not ever going to know. If she had a top that came down below her bra, you wouldn't know it either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Look at that.
I'm really, 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 really glad she does not have one of his babies in her belly.
Supposedly she already has one of his babies.
Well, is it, or is it one that came in?
I don't know.
Correct blood type.
That's from the Ikun. That's from an Anon. He's talking about all the different sacrifice is set up like his concert. The ritual layout. Astro Park mimics old painting Christ in Limbo.
That's the way the park is laid out.
Exactly. It was all a ritual. So.
The whole thing is satanic.
Yep. And even that kid was like, that was a concert in hell, you know, and he wasn't the only one that said it. There was several people saying it was like they were in hell.
Yeah, that TikTok video was really interesting.
There are several accounts that claim the local news and hashtag Houston is lying. It's not just 8; it's close to hundreds. Treat Astro World hashtag Astro World Fest. He just spoke to a ER nurse who was working last night. She said the news is lying. Her ER alone had 12 kids in their 20s die of the cardiac arrest, and numerous other calls going into other ERs with the same issue. So they're downplaying it.
Are we surprised?
No, because I had one of my customers. He wanted to go to this concert because he really liked this band, you know, and he bought these tickets, and they were like $200 and something, you know, for these tickets, and they didn't mention it until after he bought it that in order to use them, you have to get the jab. So he's like, I'm trying to sell these tickets because I'm not taking that stupid shit. So he's pissed, and they wouldn't give him his money back.
Well, the BTS concert in Los Angeles and the Thanksgiving weekend, where my niece is going, they just require the passport or a negative test.
I ain't doing neither one.
There is no test.
Exactly.
I know that, but they don't know that. Most people don't know that.
All I got to do is read.
Reading is overrated in their eyes. That means they have to use their brain. They don't. That they let Google tell them. If I only had a brain. Yeah, after work, I went up and got something to eat. I went up to a place I used to play pool at. People were just walking around like freaking The Walking Dead with those stupid diapers on. Hold on. I'm going to see what this says. That's creepy.
Hey, remember that movie? What's the name of that? What's the name of that? Oh, no, I got it. I remember. With Oprah Winfrey, Something in Time. That was a creepy movie.
That wasn't Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, well, she was in there.
No, that was Somewhere in Time had Christopher Reeves, and they had the lady from Doctor Medicine Woman. What's her name?
Yeah, that's Somewhere in Time.
Yeah,
Wasn't even thought of when that movie was made.
yeah. Oprah wasn't around.
No, no way.
Christopher Reeves was he was definitely handsome.
I've seen that movie 5 or 6 times. I actually even own it.
Yeah, it's about reincarnation and time travel.
It's a
So
beautiful movie.
it
Absolutely
is.
beautiful movie.
What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
No way is it coming to me. You know better than ask me a name at night.
I don't know. She played Doctor or something, Medicine Woman.
Well, wait a minute. I'll pull it up and I'll find out. Hang on.
That's what I'm looking too.
Can't think of her name.
I want to say Jill, but Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. I love that movie. But
I do. I think it's one of the most powerful movies too, besides just being beautiful. Of course, the place too. I love the place.
I love the costuming. That was just so spot on.
Yeah. It was. Well, he found out he was going to be a father while he was on the set.
His son looks just like him too.
Yeah, that's when she got pregnant, and they tell the story about him finding out and that he was in tears, and they had to cut the shot. They couldn't shoot until he got it together because he was so emotionally overcome by the fact that he was going to be a daddy.
Yeah, I hope that he's one that was still alive, and they hit him with a med bed.
I just don't. The thing about those people that like him and some of the others that had children, I can't imagine them leaving their children because the ones who really truthfully love their children accept to save their children. That's the only way I can think of any of him. Dale Sr., same situation. I can't. I mean, they would have to really be in a position of having the, and then, oh, you dirty dork. And I don't trust him to save my kids if I disappeared. I would want to take my kids with me so I could protect them.
Yeah. This says, how can sound be lethal? The general idea is that sound is loud enough to reach the lethality threshold, 185 to 200 decibels, will cause an air embolism, which either travel to the heart or cause the lungs to burst, resulting in death. In rare cases, loud enough sounds could possibly cause seizures or heart attacks within certain humans with physical weaknesses. Targeted sound impulses or sonic bullets can be used to cause localized physical damage, which has a chance to immobilize some humans, which they've been practicing with.
If you have graphite in your system, it does more damage.
Yep, they can target certain areas. They can control where that thing goes and where and when.
Yep.
Y'all, I was thinking about The Wrinkle in Time.
Ah.
We got Oprah. We got the whole gang of Illuminati game. Oprah, Reese, Mindy, Kellen, Storm Reed, Zach, what's his name? Gelfin, I can't say his name, and Chris Pine.
You see, it's there's people. See the mouth?
You have to remember most of these people were wasted.
No.
Well, they say the Kardashians, they're witches.
They're just evil.
Yeah.
Being a witch is not a necessarily negative either. There are white witches, and those are not negative.
Yeah, but they don't. Do they go to the principle of the Bible? No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. White witches do.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they do.
I used to be one. I used to be one.
I am one also.
I used to be one. White witches do healing, and they do blessings, and they anoint.
Right.
And majority of them use Christian background,
Right.
and not all, but majority of them do. So.
Most of them are true white witch. They have the basic background of spirituality, and they call in God to help cure people, heal people, and to enhance their.
Did you say? Did you say they're calling? You said they're calling gods.
They call
God.
it God.
God.
God. I said gods. Help.
Yeah.
God apostrophe S. Help.
Possession. Possessive.
I worked with animals for a long time as a white witch. I still do to some extent. Don't need it anymore. I can talk to them, but when I couldn't talk to them, I used that. And white witches are not evil. Don't lump them together. I object violently.
Yeah, but some people claim that they're white witches and are not white witches.
Absolutely. But it's easy to tell. It's real easy to determine.
Yeah. So I knew of the dark, but I was not part of it.
Oh no, me neither.
I never wanted that karma. So
it wasn't even, in my opinion, it wasn't even easy to slide that way. You would have to make some real major decisions about your life to even think about going in the Black Witch direction. I thought that was real. It was really clear which way you went, what the lines were, and I couldn't even imagine someone going from the white to the dark side. I just couldn't figure out how they get there because of the conscious decisions they would have to make to do that. How could anybody make those decisions? So,
yeah.
I was also a white witch in Salem's time.
So this is enough of this Astro stuff. I have to play something else.
Keelan? Who's he?
Who?
Who's Kanye?
Kanye.
Oh, okay. Now that you say it, I know it, but I couldn't read it.
There we go.
End Time Syndrome. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. 2 Timothy 3, verses 1 to 4. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Today we are going to focus on this phrase, for men shall be lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Jesus told us something similar to this will help in Matthew 24, verse 12. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. The Bible says a lot of different things about pleasure seeking and pleasure seekers. But there is one particular verse which caught my attention. The context of this verse is referring to pleasure-seeking widows, but it can be used in the context of all pleasure seekers. 1 Timothy 5, verse 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. The Greek behind this phrase, dead even while she lives, is literally, has died while alive. This is what the Bible refers to pleasure seeking as. So I asked myself, what exactly is pleasure seeking? What exactly is being a lover of pleasure? And I came to this conclusion. A lover of pleasure is someone who is in love with this world and who is in love with the pleasure sin brings for a time. That is the truth. This world and sin has a buffet of pleasure. I know an old preacher who used to say this phrase, the delicacy of sin. That is the appropriate way to describe sin and this world. Sin has a wide range of delicacies, all sorts of different types of pleasure it can offer you, but the pleasure of sin never lasts, and they take more than they give, and that is why you have to keep going back to them, because the high these pleasures give are only temporary. They only last for a little while, but they take a piece of you each time, and they leave you empty. The Bible says, "For men shall be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God." That is, the things of God will be treated with contempt, and they will be seen as burdensome. Men and women will detest God, because His instructions and commands are against the practices of the world which they want to engage in. Just as the Bible says that we should walk in the Spirit, so that we would not fulfill the desire of the flesh, it is impossible for us to be lovers of God and lovers of pleasure at the same time. We cannot serve two masters at the same time. You have to love one and detest the other. In the same way, you cannot be a lover of God and a lover of pleasure at the same time. Let's consider what 1 John 2 verses 15 to 17 says. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. That is the reason the Bible says that if anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So, the increasing love for pleasure in these last days is what is referred to as the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh. Now, some of you listening to me have a sense of security in yourself. Everything is fine right now. There is no major crisis in your life. You have money in the bank, similar to the rich fool in the Bible. The story goes as follows.
The parable of the young rich fool clarifies this. Luke 12:16 through to 21. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns, and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be, which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward God.
But what I want you to notice is this rich fool made plans in his life. He said, Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. He made no account for God. But all the while this rich fool did not realize that there was a God in heaven who was watching him make plans for his life. All the while, this rich fool did not realize that there was a God he was excluding. He wasn't aware that the God who allowed his business to grow, the God who blessed him with the abundance that he was about to enjoy, was watching him. All he was concerned about was the pleasures of this life, and God called him a fool because of this. To have a successful business isn't what made him a fool. Having money in the bank isn't what made him a fool. The simple fact that he wanted to eat, drink, and be merry wasn't what made him a fool. What made this man a fool is he completely disregarded God. He lived his whole life without preparing for eternity. 5 times in that passage of scripture, this man said, "My fruits, my barns, my fruits, my good, my soul." Not once did he mention the sunshine of God that allowed his crops to grow. Not once did he mention God giving him the ability to work. It was all him, and even his plans of the future were all about him. And that is a lesson to you and I. We are not to forget that every good thing we have in our life is because of God. We are not to forget that God is the one who gives us our next breath. We are not to forget our heart beats because of him. We are not to forget that we live because he permits us to do so. We are not to forget that nothing can exist without God. We are not to forget that we are nothing without God. When a person begins to forget about the goodness of God, they begin to love pleasure more than God. Look at the goodness of God in your life, all he has done for you, all he is doing for you. God is a good God. Has he not been good to you? For a moment, let's put to one side all the good things God has done for us individually in our own lives, and just remember what he did on the cross. If God did nothing else for us than die on the cross, that is more than enough. My friend, I tell you, when you see billions of people being cast into the lake of fire, you will thank God for his goodness and mercy. The simple fact that he sent his only son to die for me and you, so that we may spend eternity with him, shows the goodness of God. God is a good God. God has to be our first love and not pleasure. Let's consider what Jesus said to the church in Ephesus in Revelation 2 verses 4 to 5. "Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent." The church in Ephesus was erring because they had left their first love. Let us remember that it is idolatry to love anything else more than we love God. When the church in Ephesus left their first love, something else must have gained it. Our love must be geared towards God. If we invest it in anything else, we are guilty of idolatry, because our God is a jealous God. We all need to evaluate our walk with God, to know whether our love for pleasure has not taken over our love for God. When was the last time you fasted and prayed on your own? Not to ask God for something, but to just commune with him, to fellowship with God. Do you still retain the same hunger and thirst you had for the things of God when you first gave your life to Christ? What is it that you spend the most of your time doing on a daily basis? Are they things that promote self-pleasure and gratification? If you answer these questions correctly, you will judge whether your love for pleasure has risen above your love for God. You need to examine whether the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes have crept into your life. If you are satisfying the demand of your flesh and your eyes at all times, you are a lover of pleasure. If you have never deprived yourself of something in order to please God, it proves that you love pleasure more than you love God. All the heroes of faith mentioned in Hebrews 11 denied themselves of the pleasures of this world in order to accomplish God's purpose for their lives. In these last days, men and women will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, but we can choose to live differently.
That was good. Don't you think?
Yep. Pay Mark today. He's on 8 minutes.
Mark B?
Yeah. He was pissed.
About what?
About all the Australia shit. Crap.
Wow. Todd, if you want to come up, you're more than welcome. Try it again. Excuse me. Get the hiccups. Ah! Down my face, Gitmo. Quit scratching. Go lay down. Go lay down. Move back. There has to be your table there, Ed.
Oh, I hit my foot on it again. Hey, they haven't come up with they don't know what gravity is, do they? They don't really fully understand it.
No.
Have you seen them videos where they're raising rocks up off the table, but just using a frequency?
That's dumb.
Anything is possible.
Now, I was thinking, what if gravity itself is a frequency? And all you do to raise something off the ground is to do the opposite of what the frequency of gravity is. So
well, maybe they've used frequency to keep us down.
Yeah, that's what's holding us. If we could change the frequency, we'd all float off the ground.
Yeah, I mean that's what HAARP is, maybe.
Let me show my face because this sounds too crazy.
Yeah, I can see your face.
Well, I can't. I'm not on the page.
I know. I said your little icon to your face.
Oh yeah.
So
I was thinking about that today, and I just wanted to run it by somebody else because it makes sense to me. It's so simple.
Out my hair. What do you think? I'm trying not to color my hair anymore. Look at all the gray.
My beard is gray. I gotta buy that Menon stuff or whatever it's called.
I'm gonna keep it this color because it's kind of blending in with the blonde, I think. Grow it out.
My hair on my head won't turn gray though, just my beard. So it's not changing together. It doesn't look right.
Maybe I have no idea. How was your camping thing there, Deez? Did you see anything fun? Deez? He must be busy.
You're muted.
Yeah. He may have stepped away. Who knows? I wish I can go camping.
I'm here.
Okay. How was your camping thing?
Well, it was okay. It was fun.
Deeds, I watched your video where you were on the bike and you came to every time you came to a town, you would show the sign. That was neat. I like that. But I thought next you're going to show it on Google Maps. And that would have made it even better.
Hi.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that.
That would have been really good.
How you doing, Todd?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
How's Michigan?
How about yourself?
I'm here.
It's not too bad today. Pretty warm.
Well, I heard you're supposed to be getting possibly some snow this weekend. So
Don't say that. I haven't checked.
yeah.
Oh,
Just be
no.
prepared. Supposed to be abnormally
Yeah.
cold, and you're supposed to get quite a bit of snow. I heard it's like Missouri. It's like along the Canadian borders, like even UDs possibly.
Wow.
So
We usually get hit about Thanksgiving.
they said it's
around
gonna be
there.
this. It's gonna hit this weekend. So
Wow. Coming early.
yeah.
Oh, well. Can't change Mother Nature.
So
Well, they do.
well, thanks to HARP.
Right. Yeah, they're changing it.
Yeah. God controls the weather, but they can manipulate it.
Yeah. What is CERN? What is this CERN thing they're coming out with now? CERN.
That's all. That thing is 17 miles long underground in a
Right.
concrete tube. And what they're doing, they're slamming
atoms again?
Yeah, and getting the dark energy. They're trying to create a portal
Yeah.
To release demons.
to bring the Antichrist in. And we stopped them. I think we took over CERN. And I've said that before. If you're going to use the rod of God, you need to tear that thing first.
I seen a video where they were finishing it up, doing some more work on it, the disc for it, that they're going to lower into the hole. I don't know how late it was when that was put out, though.
That looked like a tunneling machine to me. And
yeah,
if you look at how big it was, and then the hole he was going to put it in, it's like
Right.
that's not going to fit in this hole. So I don't know what that video was about. I mean, it was that obvious. You're not going
Right.
to fit that big giant thing in this hole.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
But I hear my table
Right.
squeak, but I'm not touching it.
That's what she said. Sorry.
That is me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Now it's quiet.
Wow.
There it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not touching nothing.
Yeah. Mm.
Deez, you look tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired. So
Hey, you went camping again?
yeah, it was an interesting 3 days. I went
That's
with my
cool.
buddy to. He has this place in a forest that he has a bushcraft set up, and
Mhm.
I ended up going there with him, and we set it up like we tested it to see if we could turn it into a super shelter.
Uh-huh.
So it was heated by a fire, and we put like a plastic drop sheet in front of it, and it reflected all that heat. It was going up to like 25, 30 degrees in there almost Celsius.
Wow.
I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty
that's what we
high,
use.
like, warmer than room temperature in
Right.
this thing. And it was like, yeah, it was almost 0 degrees outside. It was pretty good.
Wow. Great.
So, yeah, it was fun. And then we went for a hike to a waterfall today. Had a couple beers. Just chilling. But, yeah, I don't know.
How far up in Canada are you? Toronto?
Yeah, I'm just by Toronto, just north of Toronto.
Okay. Yeah, my family's from Canada, mostly by Windsor. just across the river.
Yeah. Winter time's coming. I just checked
Winter
the
is
weather,
here.
and snow will be here next week, apparently.
Yeah, that's what Angel was saying. I
Yeah.
hope she's.
It
Weather-
helps to pay attention. So
Weather's pretty accurate anymore. That's about the only thing on TV that's accurate. But I don't watch TV.
Yeah, it used to be accurate at all, the weather.
I just use the phone for weather.
Maybe it's because they're making the weather now, so it's accurate because they know
the
recipe.
I mean, I was watching. Someone's got a link open.
Who is it?
I hear an echo.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm playing with settings.
Leave your settings alone there, Ed. Don't touch your settings. It's an all age channel. Don't play with your settings in front of
You're
the kids.
experimenting. Right? Those
Sorry.
D's.
And, I like the hair there, Deez.
Yeah, I'm just letting it grow because winter's coming. So.
Winter wear. Ed's got his winter wear. He's got a beard.
Well, if you want a haircut, you just tie it back.
Yeah, right.
There you go, a haircut.
Right.
I got me a hat. So, put on my hat.
I got one too.
There you
I can make it a beret if I wanted to.
This is my hat
Oh,
right here.
creative. Cool.
See, just make a
Let's keep
beret.
that way.
I feel like Monica Lewinsky though. Ugh.
Oh God.
Yeah. But oh, I mean, there's not much going on. I'm looking on the boob tube. They say Mr. T is down in Florida talking, but I don't see anything. It's not, I guess, recorded.
Did you see?
He's being super quiet. I don't like it. But
Did you see the beginning of We the People News today?
no.
They show what appears to be, they're calling it a bunch of spaceships leaving Earth, exiting Earth in a hurry. Like they're getting the hell out of here. They don't like it. We're blowing up all the dumps. They're getting the hell out.
Can you blame them?
No,
This shit's
well,
crazy.
if they're causing the problem, they need to go. If they're part of the problem.
Have we done the Let's Go Brandon and the Gematria yet?
I don't think nobody has. I haven't seen it. Do it.
All right. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it squeaking?
No, but you're muffled now.
Oh, because I got my fingers over the holes.
That's what she said.
Oh,
But Let's Go Brandon in Jewish Gematria. It's got
Let's go in.
AO, Henry, X. It's got Let's Go
Says-
Brandon, Trump ahead, Romana Dudulu, place letters, Lisa Simpson, Hata Gabor Le Olam Adonai, Titanium, Gorgeous, Ricardo Montana, Lucifer CIA agent, De facto standard, Death Stranding, The High Priest, The Occult, By Far, Tricks, Begotten Son, Let's Go Brandon, Carrie, Make America Honorable Again, Almost There, Denny, Curtis, Dyer, Alpha Ben Dunn, Cloud Atlas, Storm Coming, Burkina Faso, A Truth, Carlos Constanata, Roman Dudulu, Pinterest, Foxconn, Here Comes the Bride, Consider It Done, Michael de Nostradam, Comfy, Suits, The Double One, From Lucifer, Ayamo Don Rub, The Birth of a Messiah, Copper Saint, Cooper Nysium, Children of the Gods, Uptip, Anakali, Emotionless, Dryad, and Turmoil. In the English and simple Gematria is God's code, English code is 444 720 864 876 888 972 1190 and 9000. God's Gematria code is 444 720 864 876 888 972 1190 and 9000. Serpent Bearer, Opus God, December 7 God, Manifestation, December 7 December ID, The Lord is Here, Lord Sag Proof, Impossible Code, Mystical Karma, The Highest of Lord, Not a Game Bankers, 1976 God, Gematria Upgrade, God is Numbers, Mark of the Lord, Omega Light Lord, The Universe, Serpent Lord, Let's Go Brandon, Lord God Zodiac ID, God's Alive Earth, Ears Hear My Name, Ray Smiling, Ivanka Trump, Greta Thunberg, Heaven is Rays, 164, God Sag Gematria, Alien Pyramids, Vortex Math, New Jerusalem, Ripple Riddler, Ray God of Heaven, Fire Dragon Year, Mickhin Circle, O Negative Blood, The Dragon is God, Leonardo da Vinci, Lisa Simpson, United Kingdom, Supreme Lord, The Chosen One, Lord of the Bible ID, First Prize, Comet Neowise, Game of Thrones, and Take the Red Pill. Take the red pill.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which, Christmas is the day that the Matrix 4 comes out.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. Oh.
And then
Change your
February
bet-
is when the Sound of Freedom is coming. So
February, cool.
hopefully the people will be awake for that one. So
Right.
if
I
they
like your
don't,
new
they're going to
background.
come out broken people. Huh?
I like your new background.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I made it at work today.
Cool.
This is green screen here too.
It is not. That's your cabin.
I live in a cave. I don't want anybody to know it. So
It's Captain Caveman. Remember that on. You got the whole beard, hair. Remember them? Captain Caveman?
Yeah.
It started out, I started growing a beard, and then I shaved it off.
Or how about the older one, Baboon? What about Baboon?
Bavoom?
Yeah, he was another caveman. He was before man.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna grow it all the way down to my waist.
How long you been growing your beard?
It's about 1 year and 2 months.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, you got
Well, you are a Mongolian, so
this here will make your hair grow fast.
that from Snedeker?
It's
Did you get that from Snedeker?
I got this from William Mount. I went ahead and bought it.
Is that barium? Barium?
It's the collagen.
Collagen? Yeah.
The collagen.
X22 report?
I think he sells it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen the difference in William.
Yeah.
Because he stopped taking it, and he got wrinkles all around his eyes. And he took it for another 2 weeks, and he went away. And he showed it. And he's lost weight, too.
Wow.
He holds up his big, giant pair of pants. And he said, right here, this is all I took. He puts it in his coffee every morning. When he does a stream, he stirs it in his coffee and lets you know what he's doing. You know, he shows you that he takes it every morning with his coffee.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's when you read about what collagen really does for the body, and when we get older, we seem to not take in the nutrients like we used to. So you got to add more.
I mean, look what they've done. Look what they've done to our water, our food, or
right.
It's
all changed for the worse.
For the air. I mean, we're fighting a losing battle. It's like
even the seeds we have to grow things with, they've been genetically modified by
by Monsanto, which is now owned by Bayer.
Yeah.
We're not getting the full nutrients.
No, they don't want you to.
Yeah. They want you to just live long enough to pay taxes and die.
That's it. And tax you on the way out.
And they're doing that.
And they're going to charge your family to bury you. And then they're going to end up selling your organs. And they're going to double dip off of you. And then guess what? The family still, if you don't have insurance, the family's going to have to pay for all your medical bills. They're going to go financially in debt. If they don't have it, then they'll take your home.
Well, back in the 70s, they started taxing me for what I had in the bank.
Oh yeah, they're doing that now again too.
Give me all my money. I'm gonna hide it in the house. I don't need you.
Yeah, they said if anybody's got more than $600 in the bank, the IRS is gonna go in and tax you on it.
Wow.
Taxing you on money that you save, that's ridiculous.
Yep. Even though you already been paying taxes on it, they're gonna tax you again.
Spend it.
Every time there's more than $600 in your bank, take your money out of your bank.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Don't put your money in the bank.
Well, if it's in the bank, they've got to honor it. They can't just say, "Hey, your money's worthless anymore."
No, I'm saying if you have more than $600 in the bank, they're going to tax it. They've already said they're going to. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and tax you on it again.
And
I don't think it's proved yet.
They're talking about it. It's on everything now. They said you got more than $600 in the bank. Even people even the Cash App and stuff like that, they're tracking that because they discover that drug dealers are using Cash App for drug deals.
Yeah.
So they're taxing them too. So anything over $600 in your Cash App, they're going after as well.
Wow.
Also, there's that noise. It's getting bad, isn't it?
Mhm.
That you, Squeaky?
Yeah,
Everybody's
that's his
looking around.
nickname. Squeaky. Squeaky.
Well, it can't
He's
be
got
me.
a mic and he's got a mouse in the background going squeak, 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 squeak.
I mean,
It could be I was on mute. I could you hear me? I was on mute.
Yeah.
Is it getting irritating? No, I'll mute it.
Nah,
No.
you're good. Where did Silver Girl go? She had a phone call. Maybe something popped up.
I don't know if it's correct, y'all. But I did my temperature again. It says 103.
Wow.
Wow.
You need to
But I
break your temperature. You need to break your fever.
I'm doing the best I can.
Drink, as I said, you need to drink some tea.
I've had
Take
my tea
yourself-
right here. I got it.
After you get done, go into your bed, lay down, cover up with a bunch of blankets.
I'm in my
and
bed.
start
I talk to you
sweat.
guys. I talk to you guys all the time in the bed. I know I remember.
How many blankets do you have on?
I got 2, but I'm warm. I'm warm.
Put on more until you start sweating. And once you start to sweat, you hop in the bath, you hop in the shower and you rinse it off. You change your and you do it a couple more times. And then after that, you change your sheets and then go to bed. You need to break your fever. You got to do it 2 or 3 times.
Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna go because I just want to go to bed now.
Yeah, you need to get some sleep. If you start to sweat, get up and rinse it off.
Okay.
Do it again. All right.
All
Love
right.
you.
Love you too.
Good.
Bye bye.
Love you.
Bye,
Ricky.
guys.
Feel better.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, Vicky.
We'll be praying
Bye-bye.
for you.
Thank you.
Always.
So,
What was that?
no.
Are you whining?
I'm just trying to see if there's something, popping up on BoobTube that I could play.
Todd, what state are you in?
Michigan?
You were having internet problems, and sometimes you can see people having internet problems that are on these streams, and then you can look at the map or what's going on today, and that's where military operations are taking place, right in the state where these people are having internet problems.
I'm right by an airport too. We have a major airport, so I get a lot of interference. I'm in Metro Airport.
Yeah.
Quiet for planes tonight, though. Okay, let's see got here.
Let's see. This is Russell Brand talking about Mr. Soros.
The pandemic has been a difficult time for everyone, and we need to get some stimulus checks out there to help ordinary people. Or billionaires. Billionaires need to be helped. That's what I meant to say. We need to get stimulus checks to billionaires. It's already happening. You're all familiar that the pandemic precipitated the biggest wealth transfer in history. You'll all be familiar that billionaires have been using this time to shoot up into space and have a little look down at their playgrounds that we live upon. Well, here's a news story that's going to shock you to your sexy little core. Let's get into it. In March 2020, as the first wave of coronavirus infections all but shut down the United States economy, Congress passed a $2.2 trillion relief package called the CARES Act. They're good at naming them acts, aren't they? Patriot Act, CARES Act. Over here, we do things like the snuggly, cuddly old bunny bill. And you find out, what's that? It's spying on you. The centerpiece of the law was an emergency payment to over 150 million American households that needed help. So far, so good. A little bit of help for ordinary people. Surely a good thing. Ira Renner, worth $3.7 billion according to Forbes, did not appear to need the cash infusion offered by the CARES Act. After all, his 62,000 square foot Hamptons home is one of the largest in the country, so he was unlikely to get cabin fever during lockdown, let alone have trouble buying food. Nevertheless, Renner, who made his fortune as a corporate raider in the 80s and 90s, got a $2,400 check from the government. That's ridiculous. Now, obviously, to a billionaire, $2,400 ain't much. But if you were to look at perhaps a welfare payment or an incremental rise, or the kind of money that people work in at Amazon or Walmart or McDonald's or all them other jobs that require food stamp support, this 2,400 is significant. And of course, it will be significant when it's all added together. And of course, yet more importantly, it's indicative of a kind of mental numbness, a kind of stupidity and unconscious attitude to the way that the world, or in this case, America, could be governed, should be governed. George Soros, who I know you love, the prominent hedge fund manager and philanthropist who's worth $8.6 billion, didn't need the CARES cash either. Neither did his son Robert, himself worth hundreds of millions. Even if Robert did get in some financial trouble, you'd think that George Soros, being a billionaire and a philanthropist, and his dad, is perfectly positioned to help out a little bit. Give us a little bit of money. No, but you're George Soros. Leave me alone. But you're a philanthropist. Get away from me. But I'm your son. Okay, you can have $2,400, but only because I got it from the government. ProPublica, using its trove of IRS records, identified at least 18 billionaires who received stimulus payments which were funded by US taxpayers in the spring of 2020. Hundreds of other ultra-wealthy taxpayers also got checks. The wealthy taxpayers who received the stimulus checks got them because they came in under the government's income threshold. In fact, they reported way less taxable income than that, even hundreds of millions less after they used business write-offs to wipe out their gains. Again, what this indicates is that people that are actually and in effect billionaires can pose as bankrupt or not having any money at all, or start a fund over here that funnels this money. Oh, that weren't my money. Or they can avoid tax by setting up all sorts of crazy pacts. It's a ridiculous system that if the people doing it sort of had different accents and smoke cigars, you would just call it crime. You would just say, well, this is crime. Let's change it. This isn't the best way to run the system, is it? And all the time you watch politicians on TV talking about the problems of climate change and inequality and all of the problems socially that we're dealing with, you think, well, do something meaningful about the waste of resources and the inefficiencies in the system. And of course, the reason they don't is because the system is supported by them. The system paid for them. They're paid for by those same people. They're part of the same, they're all in relationship with one another. This isn't conspiracy, corruption, tinfoil hat territory. This is just like, you can like blindly watching something unfold, watching digits on a screen. This is just how it operates. ProPublica found 270 taxpayers who collectively disclosed $5.7 billion in income according to their previous tax return, but who were able to deploy deductions at such a massive scale that they qualified for stimulus checks. They've gone too far there, haven't they? They've lied so much, they've actually gone from making themselves looking too rich to actually poor. They've overdone it. Oh, no, it looks like I earned $2 billion, but actually I spent all this on, like, that was wages. That was on helicopters. That was on jets. Oh, my God, you must be broke. I am basically broke. Do you need a stimulus check? Yeah, at very least, I need a stimulus check. Consider two stimulus recipients with similarly huge incomes in 2018. Timothy Headington is an oil mogul, a real estate developer, and worth $1.4 billion. He had $62 million in income in 2018, but after $342 million in write-offs, his final result was a negative $280 million. For all my work, do you know how much I earned? Go on. Nothing. I actually lost $280 million. If my work caused me to lose $280 million, I'd just stay at home. Do you want to stop working? You're obviously rubbish at it. You've lost 280 million quid. Oh, no, it gives a little bit of stimulus. The same was true of Renner, whose $64 million in income that year was erased by $355 million in deductions for a final total of negative $291 million. Another person useless at their job. Now, we're all aware, if you're like not like dirt poor struggling, people have accountants and accounts notices your expenses and all that kind of stuff. I recognize. But there is a difference between a person who's earning money from doing a job that's connected to reality, declaring that there was some expenditure involved, and what is plainly corporate corruption of such a garish scale that it actually tips the balance into receiving stimulus packages. Like, imagine that this whole thing was sincere. Like, oh my God, are you all right? You've actually got no money. Yeah, I'm broke, buddy. My real estate ain't working. The oil games are killing me, baby. Goddamn electric cars. Although I've invested in them as well. Yeah, you best have a stimulus check. Thank you. I can barely hold it. I'm trembling from malnutrition. Do you want some food stamps? Yeah, who pays for these? Same people who pay for the stimulus. These idiots. As ProPublica reported earlier this year, the wealthiest taxpayers often have great flexibility in and when they take taxable income. Flexibility, that's what they call it. allowing them to pay a minuscule portion of their wealth growth in taxes. The ultra-wealthy have other tax advantages. Many can tap a particularly generous vein of deductions, businesses they own. They can wipe out all their income, even for years to come, unlike other deductions like those for charitable giving. Certain industries, like real estate or oil and gas, are a well-known source of tax benefits that can generate paper losses, even for a successful business. Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when you like tell a lie and then you get into the lie so much that you sort of start to believe it yourself. All right, why are these earrings by the bed? Those earrings were going to be a present for you because I love you so much. Oh, you beautiful man. Have a stimulus check. Billionaires often reap sizable tax deductions from owning sports teams, such as a ProPublica story this year detailed. A number of sports teams' owners were among the recipients of stimulus payments. Terence Pegula, who is worth $5.7 billion and owns both the NFL's Buffalo Bills and the NHL Buffalo Sabres, was one. Like, you own actual football teams. I suppose what it makes me feel when I hear that is not that, again, as I often say, that it makes me want to condemn or witch hunt individuals for using a system that's plainly available. That's sort of what people do in that position. But to help us to recognize together that the intransigence that we are told exists is feigned. It's not impossible to change things. Every single week, we're going to tell you things that could change, that are there because they are beneficial. They're not there because it's the only option. They're there because it's the best option for the people with the most power. And it stands to reason, doesn't it, that society is organized by the powerful, for the powerful. So whenever you find yourself full of disdain, loathing, or even hatred for people or groups or institutions, check mentally, what power does that institution, group, or individual have? If it's no power, it's just a victim. Also getting a check was Glenn Taylor, worth $2.8 billion, who earlier this year struck a deal to sell Minnesota's NBA and WNBA teams for $1.5 billion. Pegula and Taylor did not respond for requests to comment. Of course they didn't, because they can't sit there and sort of pretend they're at a soup kitchen or like they're Eddie Murphy in Trading Places, putting themselves along on a skateboard, dirt poor, when they own actual sports teams. Furthermore, those sports teams are a public entity dependent on the goodwill and love of fans that spend money on merchandise and tickets and overpriced food items that probably cause botulism. And if they hear those people having to speak publicly about their tax arrangements, the unfairness, which seems particularly ridiculous when connected to sport, because sport is about competition and challenges and operating within a regulatory system and seeing who can win and who can achieve. And that's exactly what this system tells us it is. It becomes almost too ironic. Some taxpayers had enough in deductions to wipe out even hundreds of millions in income. Robert Dart is a scion of the Dart family, which owns Dart Container Corp, the maker of the iconic red Solo cup. Is that them cups that you see at parties in American films when they've got them cups? That'll be that, wouldn't it? Nice. I do like his cups. In 2018, he reported income exceeding 300 million. That's a lot of cups. But deductions left him with a final result of negative 39 million. How are you making them cups? Oh, it's complicated, you know. We put a lot of time into it. We get them designed by very, very expensive designers. We make them under the water. A lot of our employees are geniuses. Some of them can't see properly. The whole endeavour is more like an opera, really, than cup manufacture. Every year, in fact, we lose about 39 million, but we like making them red cups so bloody much. We just plough on. As long as you've got your red cups, yeah, we'll keep going. Here's this little stimulus, would you? Dart and his brother renounced their US citizenship decades ago to take advantage of a then existing tax break available for expatriates. Dart filed his US tax return from an address in the Cayman Islands, but got a stimulus payment just the same as no one lives in the Cayman Islands. It's just filing cabinets and people chuckling. The IRS declined to comment. And they've got no common sense when they're issuing these stimulus checks. Where are we sending this one? It's to an address in the Cayman Islands. Well, it's probably all right then. What about this one? This is going to number 1. Billionaire, Comfy Town. Oh, you better get that one sent fast. For former Lehman Brothers CEO Richard Fuld, a big salary was a key part of the $400 million he earned in the 5 years before the firm's historic collapse. I mean, I'm beginning to think that perhaps the historic collapse was in some way related to overpaying some of the staff. I don't know why we can't keep this business together. Let's just have a look at the accounts. Right. 400 million that's for the chairperson. Cleaners, they're getting 100 million each. Hamburgers, that's 200 million. You're meant to be running a finance firm. But in recent years, he's been running a company called Matrix Investment Partners. Well, that's reassuring. that he set up to invest his own money. The tax losses generated by that company were one reason he got a stimulus check. Reached by phone and asked whether he wanted to comment. Fold said, "I'm not interested, thank you." Well, of course he did. Another CARES Act beneficiary was Eric Prince, who before deductions had 5.3 million in income. In 2018, Prince founded Blackwater, which is a really inspiring name for any company. Welcome to Blackwater, a private military company that received hundreds of millions in government contracts. There are two things that make the wealthy status of this man obvious. One, his name Eric is spelled with a K, and two, his surname is Prince. He has denounced excess government spending by saying, "We're being bled dry by debt." Prince didn't respond to a request for comment. It's a wonderful story in a way, because the figures of the stimulus checks that were given to these billionaires is not particularly significant. But what it reveals is that in concealing their wealth, the wealthy have made themselves actually look worthy of stimulus payments. That's how thorough, deep, and evading the mask is. Isn't it ridiculous that people that have got loads of money don't just participate in society in a meaningful way, to the point where they're actually registering as poor? A proposal in the Democrats' once 3.5 trillion, now under 2 trillion, Build Back Better legislation. Like, they're not building back better, they're building back the same by awarding money to already powerful people. I'm starting to think that the whole function of government is to extract money from ordinary people, from the public purse, and put it in the hands of private organizations. That's the whole function of it. That's what it does. And meanwhile, quashes rebellion, dissent, and anger as it carries out this con. Build Back Better, currently the subject of fevered negotiations, would theoretically curb the ability of wealthy taxpayers to report negative income. The idea, which builds on a provision of the 2017 Trump tax bill, is one of the few tax provisions to have survived the recent negotiations, at least for now. However, Democrats are currently considering including a tax break for the wealthy in the reconciliation bill. Democratic negotiators are working on a repeal of the SALT deduction cap for up to 5 years, which would cost $475 billion and give the richest 5% $400 billion in tax cuts. Bernie Sanders said in a scathing statement on Tuesday, "This is beyond unacceptable." It's not beyond unacceptable. It's totally within the remit of acceptability. It's completely ordinary, recognizable, consistent behavior and legislation. If the function of government is to manage dissent, extract wealth, place it in the hands of private institutions. If that's its function, it's doing a damn good job. But that's just what I think. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below whether you think there's any possibility for change. If you think people shouldn't pay tax if they're really well off and they've earned that money themselves. And also, if you enjoyed this video, have a look at this cheeky little guy. And if you need to access some deep spiritual power now, having been disillusioned by the corruption that goes on about the world, please have a little quick meditate. Most importantly of all, please sign up to my mailing list so I can stay in regular community.
Amazing.
But it's true. I mean, all the rich people they get so many tax breaks that, they can register as poor.
Amazing. How many checks did you get? How many stimulus did you get? You got all three? Wow. I only got one.
I mean, everybody's supposed to get all three. If you didn't get it, you go to the website and you file for the other two.
Yeah, they said they'll take it off taxes. That's all.
I heard that he wanted him back. He's not. Now
he probably does.
My friend got his in prison. So.
Wow.
They're all the World Health Organization, the UN.
He said my friend who's in prison said that when they started mandating all these guards to do and then they changed their hours and were forcing them to work like 16 to 18 hours a day. Right. And a lot of the guards couldn't do it because they have kids or they have families, whatever. So
they're human.
They had a lot of people quit. Well, they said that they had so many people quit as guards that they have the military now guarding the prison.
Wow. That's crazy.
And there's a bunch of military police there.
That's insane. Where's this, Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I mean, I'm wondering how many other prisons are having military police guarding their
Yeah,
prisoners.
you would think so. You would think they would have problems, especially in the blue states.
That's
I haven't
Well,
heard nothing.
Kentucky's a red state, but Louisville and Lexington is a blue cities.
Yeah, they have the big counties like that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Nashville.
Did you ever think about if that if we
This
were
is a
dating-
Commonwealth. Huh?
Yeah.
if we ever got hit with a tsunami, are they going to get the people out of jail, or are they all just going to hop in their cars and go home?
They're gonna hop in their cars and go home.
They don't care about us.
I don't think they can
You
get
know?
on a bus and get them to safety.
I was sitting there listening in the morning. I listened to Steve O'Bannon's War Room. You ever listen to War Room?
No.
Yeah,
Steve Bannon.
Sometimes.
I mean, like, while I'm getting ready, it's just something in the background while I'm getting ready. That's how I heard about the snow and the storm. And, it's just, and I was sitting there listening, and they were talking about, the mandate and that they have to have 85% of the population
Wow.
done. And I'm like, they want to, they said in order to squash this disease, this illness,
Right.
they need to have 85% Jabberwocky.
Mm-hmm.
To get rid of what's the virus?
The flu.
We are
Too many red-blooded Americans.
Yeah, us.
Too many people. The human species. We're the virus. They need to get rid of.
Right. Yep. People that can think.
Yeah.
Question it.
I mean, they even the people that are asleep, they're the ones taking that stuff.
I'm gonna go.
They're
to bed,
running from the line.
Have a good
Huh?
night, everybody. I'm
You
exhausted.
going to bed? Love you, D's.
Yeah, I gotta get some sleep.
Good night, D.
Sweet dreams,
guys.
darling. I'll send you a prayer.
Bye bye.
Good night,
Okay.
D. Or D.
Come on up, digital. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's like it just popped in my head. And I'm like, what? They're talking about an illness that had a better survival rate than anything in the world. It's like 99.8% survival rate, and then every time you get the thing, your survival rate lessens by 25% each time you get that.
Yep.
And all these people, and it's like people are stupid.
Right. Can't you? I mean, common sense should dictate that. I mean, if it was that high of a, but they
you can literally watch people and see who took it and who didn't.
Oh yeah.
Without even asking them.
I still see people in cars with masks on alone. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're in your car alone and you got a mask on? What is wrong
do you
with
sit at home in a mask?
They probably do.
So
hey, digital.
Hey, there's digital.
If they die from the jab, you can.
Do you think they care who they kill? No, they don't give a shit.
No.
We're the virus they want to squash.
We're disposable.
They die of stupidity is what it is.
You watched that Rabbi Finkelstein, didn't you, Ed?
Yeah, which one?
The Rabbi Finkelstein.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, the podcast where he's like basically he talks about it, and he's like, well, calls this guy on. He's like, I know who your God is. It's not God, it's Satan. He's like, schematics, He's like, why are you being so open about this? He's like, because we're winning. What do I have to hide? He goes, if you're not Jewish, you're cattle, you're sheep, you're food.
Yeah.
You know, and he talks about McDonald's and what they do with the meat and where they get
Yeah.
it from and all that stuff. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it changes our whole slogan.
They don't mind.
Billions and billions served.
They don't think anybody would actually believe it. That's why they go ahead and say it.
Because they put it in your face because it's mandated between God and Satan. Satan can do whatever he wants, but he can't hide it. That's why he gave us free will. We choose it. And in their ideology, their evilness, complacency is acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Just go along to get along. You know, and these people just willfully just, I mean, they're walking around like they're freaking, they can't even, I mean, they can't think, they can't breathe. You know, they don't, people are just like, right after 1917, when everybody, you know, whoever survived that disease and the Jabberwocky back then, and all the people that died from wearing a mask, because that's the majority of the people who died from it. But after that was an outbreak of tuberculosis. I think there's going to be another outbreak after this.
There's going to be the smallpox.
Tuberculosis.
I think he was saying smallpox the other day.
Oh, I like your rollerblades. I'd break my. I would not live past one rollerblading incident. So I'm a very broken person.
I got started in middle school because they had a rollerblade canteen. I mean, roller skates. So I had never roller skated, and I fell in love with it because I was moving fast, and I was going super fast. And then my grandma bought us all roller skates, and I burnt holes in the toe because that's where the brake is. And then they said my brother was 2 years older, and he wanted inline skates, roller blades. They're like, no, you're gonna break your ankle. You're gonna die. And he got and then I got him, and then we were playing roller hockey, and I didn't die. I haven't broken anything.
Nice. I mean, they're fun. My ex, he used to do like when he was so good at rollerblading that he could do the pirouettes and he could spin and do all that stuff. You know, he was really good on it. You know, but I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it.
My rollerblades are for tactical missions only.
He took his brakes off. He never had brakes on his rollerblades. He took them off. He said, he's like, you don't need. He goes, if you're good enough, you don't need brakes. So
excellent segue. Excellent segue, Angel. I wanted to mention that at some point I ripped off on the rollerblades. I ripped off the brakes because they get in the way. And actually, there's other techniques that are better for stopping, dragging all of the wheels, or like skiing, the pie stop,
like sliding. Yep.
You just make it
toes
an
in,
angle.
Or you can do the sideways, you know, like they do in ice skating, you know.
Or you can, I'm not saying, like that. I'm not saying skidding, but you could just drag.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, because you get to move and think and see the world, and especially when I had my drone, I lost my drone in Hurricane Ida because I was doing some testing. And I don't know if I got taken out by the government or not, but I lost it. Anyway, when you fly like a bird, and you come back and do human stuff, it changes your perspective. And that the same is like now I'm on rollerblades, but I used to fly. And so you get to view your world differently, and you have to, because you need to tiptoe around things. But you practice. So I just went out for a night ride. So you practice seeing better at night, and you also practice like a Jackie Chan. The title of a Jackie Chan film called something like The Drunken Master. So if you're even if you're drunk and you're fighting, well then use your drunkenness and you fall and you use your falling in the fight.
Yeah. There's a video I'm going to share. Is Richard Citizen from Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
He's back in D.C. He just dropped this about 12 minutes ago, so I thought I'd share it.
Okay, let's see it.
All right.
We got Union Station here. So still homeless tents are just connected between the Union Station and the Capitol. We got empty circulator buses still. Seems to be more traffic on the way in here today. Seems to be a lot more cars than last time I was here. So I'm gonna check out, government buildings. But here's USA. Gosh, there's a lot more tents here too. So there's way more than there was before. And here's the Capitol. Oh, I can't see it from here, but it's right through there. Supreme Court and all that. And then there used to be another. So here's another empty circulator bus. The buses still are empty. Around the Capitol here. Seems a lot more activity than the last time I was here. So I'm going to keep checking it out. Obviously, it's my first time back here in a number of months. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing and try to tell you best I can of what's going on here. So that's the latest. So this is interesting. So right here, so right here, there was a big homeless encampment after the whole January 6th event. A lot of people were right here. I put some videos up of that. Coming up ahead of us here is going to be the Library of Congress, Supreme Court, right up here, the Hoover Building, all those other things, and obviously the Capitol. So we'll keep checking it out and see what's going on.
That was it?
What was that? See, it's got I don't know. I thought just watch.
Everything's supposed to be closed in Washington, I hear. They say it's all boarded up.
It is. It's all shut down.
Yeah.
That looked a little busy, but still not like it usually.
No, nothing like normal. That was pretty crowded compared to what I've been seeing.
I used to live up there, so I know how the traffic is in DC.
Right.
You would every traffic light, there was cars already waiting across the street. They were waiting
across.
for the next block.
Wow.
It was just a line of traffic as far as you could see. You don't get in a hurry when you went down DC.
Right.
It baffles me when I see these pictures of the empty streets. It's just, what happened? Did a bunch of people die? It's possible. You're covering it up.
I don't think Potato Head gets to go in the White House.
That squeaking's coming from something.
It's your beard. Oil your beard.
It's almost as if it's picking up somebody else's noise and blaming it on me.
Oh, God. It's a conspiracy, Ed. Angel's sending it your way. It's telepathic. Now he's going to stamp and oil everything tonight. WD-40. Going online for some good anti-squeak.
This is a website called the Black Vault.
Mm-hmm.
This is declassified FBI files.
Cool.
So this one here is about the celebrities. There's remember Bud Abbott? Abbott and
Yeah.
Costello. This
Yeah,
Bud
of course.
Abbott was part of the Abbott and Costello team.
Mhm.
This is their file on him. There's one on Gracie Allen. Remember Gracie?
Yeah.
Steve Allen. There's apparently 4 files on Steve Allen. There's 2 files on Gracie Allen. There's Elizabeth Arden. There's 2 files there. She was murdered. I think she died. Elizabeth Arden. I think she was murdered or suicided. Who knows? Louis Armstrong. Look at Desi Arnaz. There's 7 files on Desi. There's 5 on Josephine Baker. There's Marty Ballin. I don't know who that is, but he's singer songwriter. Lucille Ball. There's 3 files on her. There's 9 on the Beatles. I remember watching this documentary. It was from George Harrison. It said Paul McCartney really is dead. And he talked about how they used to put in the back masking of their songs that the real Paul McCartney had died in a car crash.
Wow.
And because they were owned by the royal family, well, they had used them so much so that they couldn't. The Beatles would have been no more. So they had a contest. They had a contest on basically a Paul McCartney lookalike contest, and the winner became the replacement. Yep,
I believe that.
Because the first one was left-handed, but the other one was right-handed and sang
But you
better.
weren't supposed to notice. that.
Right. So there's Irving Berlin. There's Biggie Smalls. Sonny Bono. I met him 2 weeks before he died. There's one on Anthony Bourdain. James Brown. George Burns. Raymond Burr. Johnny Carson. There's Johnny Cash. Charlie Chaplin. There's 10 files on Charlie Chaplin. Tom Clancy. Dick Clark. Arthur Crowley. Robert Culp. John Denver. Walt Disney. Richard Durham. Eazy-E. Sid Field. Eddie Fisher. Ella Fitzgerald. Errol Flynn. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a text. What? So, Errol Flynn, Zsa Zsa Gabor. There's 2. Apparently, there's 2 different Zsa Zsas. There's one. There's 2. Is that her clone? Robin Gibb, Milton Green, Paul Harvey, Hugh Hefner, Jimi Hendrix, Dennis Hopper, Whitney Houston, Rock Hudson. I Was a Common Spy Radio. Michael Jackson. Russell Tyrone Jones. Casey Kasem. Gene Kelly. John F. Kennedy Jr. Hedy Lamar. Millard Lample. Peter Lawford. Stan Lee, who created Spider-Man. He was a comic book writer.
Mm-hmm.
John Lennon. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 John Lennons. And there's 2 Jerry Lewises, see? 2 Art Linkletters.
Art Linkletter? Yeah.
Louie the Song. Carl Malden. Jane Mansfield. There's 2 Steve McQueens. Marilyn Monroe. There's Betty Page. I have 2 Betty Page tattoos. She was a 1950s pinup model. And she made her own clothes. She didn't see nudity as a sin. She thought it was, you were born naked. So nudity wasn't against God.
Do you
But
think they use these files as like a control mechanism with these people?
well,
Since they're all famous?
she was in New York and she worked for the Claws, and they were a Jewish photo thing, a magazine place, and they used to sell the nudie magazines and stuff like that, and the little snippets of early pornography days, and they had Betty worked for them. She did a lot. They used her pictures as because she was the most requested model because she could she just knew how to pose, and she was from Tennessee. And well, she was FBI raided them, and they had a big huge like pornography sting back then, and they called her into Congress or some big trial, and it scared her so much that she went walking down the beach, stumbled into a church, and confessed her sins and walked away from fame and fortune. She didn't know she was even famous until she was in her 70s. So
Wow.
she gave her life to God. So she never looked back.
Amen.
So, but she never allowed herself to, even when they found her and told her she was famous, she never allowed anybody to take her picture, because she's like, she didn't want anybody knowing what she looked like. So,
Do you think the FBI used these files against them, like so that they wouldn't speak out about what's really going on?
Elvis Presley, there's 12 files on Elvis.
I imagine so.
Prince, Paul Robinson, Will Rogers, Pete Seeger, Rod Serling. There's 3 Morton Silversteins. Frank Sinatra. There's 12 file.
Wow.
Well, there's actually 24 files on Frank Sinatra. Elizabeth Taylor, Shirley Temple, poor little thing. This is your FBI. It's a file on the FBI. Fred Thompson, Tupac Shakur. There's 4 Jacques Valentes. Actually 5. Robert Francis Vaughan, John Wayne, George Orson Welles. There's 205 pages on Frank Sinatra Jr. So, any of them you want to, open up and see what it says?
Not offhand.
Frank Sinatra.
Did you hear anything about this supposed to be disclosing the Queen?
Frank Sinatra,
Frank.
which one? The first one? Go do the first one.
Yeah.
What, Frank had 4 of them or something?
He had 24 of them.
24? Oh my God.
Frank Sinatra. Huh?
It's getting late here. I don't think I'm gonna drop down.
All right. Good night, Ed. Love you, darling.
I'll see y'all later.
All right,
Bye,
be
Ed. Good
careful.
night.
Good night.
Take care, sir.
It says it's got the
Squeaky.
Sinatra number. It's got memorandum, director. This is from 1971. So subject, the advised that the caption subjects have been involved in an attempt to extort 100,000 from one Ronald Alpert for the use of physical force by threatening Albert's life. The former advised, former stockbroker. Apparently, Frank Sinatra is involved in that. Victim is interviewed. So his goons, I guess, attacked somebody. So, Frankie this is a Federal Bureau investigation. The title of the case charge in Nilo del Grosse, aka Neil Anel, Joe Paris, aka Joseph Garna, and Carlo Gambino, aka title continue next page. Extortion. Titles mark changed to reflect the true name and lists of Julie Rizzo, Frankie Butch, and Francis DeSisto. Reference New York let to bio dated March 15, 1971. For the information of the Bureau. Blah, 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 blah. Gambino family.
Sounds like Frank was a gangster.
He dabble.
Yeah.
My dad was Italian. Half it.
Right. I am.
He dabbled. He dabbled. So you don't ask.
Right. That's why I stay away from most of my friends. I don't want to be in no pictures with them. I left them people alone years ago.
I mean, my dad came home and found a bunch of steaks that fell off the truck. So
Right.
we didn't ask. We had steak every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I didn't
Amen.
complain.
I used to do that. I can't do it no more. I haven't had a steak in, God, 6 months.
I like steak.
I
I
eat
like
once in
steak,
a while.
but I like, but it's too expensive now. Who can afford it?
Right?
Yeah, and who's to say they actually comes from a cow?
Correct?
Yeah. They lie about everything else, so I don't put anything past them.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one's all about this case and everything. It's about an extortion case. So this is pretty interesting. You should check out the Black Vault. Got a whole bunch of Black Vault. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll share you the link.
I'll try it on my tablet once I figure it out.
This is the. I'll just go StreamYard. I'll drop it in regular chat. When Trump first left and he declassified all the documents, this is one of the ones that I found and I was able to get.
Cool.
So, I mean, if everybody's just, I mean, there was so much declass dropped that if everybody, one person took one thing, it'd take us like thousands of years just to get through all the intel.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's got enough to hang them all now. There's enough out there now to get them all.
I mean, nothing can stop what is coming.
No.
Nothing.
It sounds like they're getting ready to disclose the Queen. They're saying she's in the hospital, sick. So I think
she died already. She's dead.
Yeah,
they haven't admitted it yet.
We know that. They don't. The average
Well, I mean,
person.
they're going to use, if they go after Hillary, they're going to try and distract people with the Queen.
It's looking like they're going to go for her next. I don't know who's going to be the one that shocks the world. Who do you think it's going to be?
Pope.
Hillary? The Pope? Yeah, I would say too. But I think Hillary's going to be in there too.
I mean,
those attitudes.
these people are so indoctrinated. I don't think they even would care. Just like if if I literally told my friend, if I showed him and told them what they've been doing with McDonald's, he would look at me. He'd look at me like I have 5 heads.
Oh yeah,
They don't
yeah, I
care.
know.
They don't care.
I
Even if people find out what happens at McDonald's, I think there's people there that would still eat it.
They're still gonna go and eat it. You could send them a coupon, and they go get it. No, I won't eat nothing.
People do not care.
Nope.
And they've been putting
Whatever.
it and putting it and putting it in our face
Right.
so long, and nobody can freaking see it.
I mean, if there's so much stuff getting disclosed now, but they'll still cause conspiracy theorists. Do some research yourself and figure out a couple things. Maybe you'll change your opinions, Maybe they're not crazy.
But they want us divided by any means possible, and people just
Well,
can't.
it's easier to control. It's easier to control 2 groups that way.
Yeah, but they haven't done this too. Now it's in so many groups that nobody can agree with anyone.
That was their goal.
Yeah, they do it very well.
Split them by race, religion, political. I mean, they're being successful at it, but God wins.
I know. It's a slow process.
Here's my McDonald's.
It's picking up speed, I think. It's getting really close.
What is it?
I think it's getting really close.
My McDonald's.
You have a McDonald's story?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
At the beginning of this war, as I became aware and I'm in all the channels and learning all this stuff, I didn't know about the McDonald's thing. And, to break up my intel and like not sleeping, I would hit the McDonald's drive-through as my place to go, like a retired old guy, But I would do it in my car because I like, because I want it to be Let's Go Brandon. Anyway, I'll get 7 creams, 7 sugars, hot coffee, hot, 7 creams, 7 sugars, and that was my calm. I just kept dropping 7 because I couldn't put 17 in. That'd be ridiculous. It's already ridiculous at 7. And then I was also like making friends with the people there. Just I'd roll in with Hawks mustard seeds blaring on the radio or whatever. And while I'm sitting there waiting for my burgers, I'd get the single cheeseburgers. I'd get like 6 at a time. 6 at a time. Single cheeseburgers, 6 at a time. Hot coffee, 7 creams, 7 sugars. And they got to know me. And they got to know my car because I had art on it with the window paint marker. I wrote like Nikola Tesla, Free Energy, Love Warrior, like, the Michael Jaco type stuff. And I had like vortex swirls on it, like all the, ideas. And the stuff that people think is conspiracy, but is probably actually totally real. They just don't want us to know yet. But there's enough out there, and then we can see and feel and experience, and people don't like the kind of people that we are, or some of us, where we can aggregate all that. Anyway, my McDonald's story. I gave a lotto ticket to one of the ladies who became like my drive-through window mommy, and she did win money. Not a lot. It was just enough, but like I could have gotten the money back for the ticket, but instead I gave it to her. And then another thing that happened was I really wanted, for my hologram family out front, I wanted to buy McDonald's Happy Meals for the 3-year-old at the time, Olivia, my best friend, who's 4 now. And it took 3 Happy Meals to get a seal toy. I said, I want the best toy, and I asked for 3 Happy Meals. And I got a seal, which lines up to a picture that we took together. She asked me, we were looking through like a National Geographic book, and there was a picture of a seal, and she was like, take a picture of me with the seal. And there was a seal, and then I was able to give it to the 3-year-old, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much!" And she gave me like the most thankful reaction.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't get to eat it with the child, but that's just my McDonald's story and the pain. And most recently, after then learning, well, I was in Pal Talk on Hawks Mustard Seeds, and there was a girl in there that was, really annoyed by one of my comments because I said, I just went to McDonald's, I got 20. I'm reheating my 20 chicken McNuggets, and I'm pretty sure it's probably made out of babies. This was just a feeling and a thought and an idea and like a poetic saying. That was before I learned that they do. They do. That became part of the intel going forward, but I didn't know it at the time. And she got really up in arms, like disgusted, and she wanted everyone. She was like a shill in the room, and she wanted everyone. She caused the whole thing. It's happened before. It's okay. But it's just funny that I said, I made a joke that I was buying so many chicken nuggets because I was trying to confirm whether or not they're made out of babies. And it turns out that they are.
Man.
Right. So then moving forward, so now I don't have any place to go to the drive-thru. It's okay because nothing about my car is legal. I'm not paying the car insurance right now because I went month to month, so I'm just playing a long game on that. I'm not moving around because gas costs too much. I don't have a job, so I don't have to worry about moving the car. My parking space is paid for through government programs I don't want to talk about. But I'm glad I'm doing them because it keeps some of these illegal immigrants from taking over my space and utilizing it in a way that I don't know. It could be awesome for them, and I'm not sure if it is or isn't, or who they work for anymore or now.
You want to see my car?
Yeah.
Cool. What is it? Honda Prelude?
Huh?
It's Camry.
Prelude?
The Camry. It's Camry.
It says it right on it. It says it right on it.
I got it. I'm on my phone.
What's that?
I got Trump 1. It's a Q with a Punisher skull. It's got the Trump
Sweet.
hair.
Let me blow.
It's got Where We Go One, We Go All. It's got the
cool.
QAnon, Punisher skull. That 6 is I've got your 6, which is for the cops saying I got your back. There's a Q there. There's God's Girl. Next to the Toyota, I found a Q sticker, so I put it after the Toyota. And then back there on the windshield, it says Trump 2020. And then it's got We the People are pissed off on the other side.
Sweet.
And then I got this, I just ordered the new sticker where it's going to look like Trump is sitting in the passenger seat. So I'm waiting on that one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I want to have that.
Bulletproof. Did you order?
Well, I do have 2 bullet
film?
holes. Well, they're not holes. I do have 2 bullet nicks in my car. I named my car Trigger. Trigger's my car's name. It's Trigger.
Right.
So I did get shot at.
You need to order some bulletproof window films if that exists. Probably would if Apple made it.
Yeah.
iPhone screens.
I just have to do this. There you go.
Right.
Sharticus. Fuck Joe Biden.
Bring it up on screen.
So Angel, to wrap up my McDonald's story, the latest thing that I did was on a bike mission. I went in with a strip of paper and a pen, and I wrote Project Veritas, and I kind of tucked it into the change jar for the donate. But I presented it so it was half in, half out, so it was just like presented like a display.
Yeah.
I put it in 2 of them, and then I took one of the hats that you can assemble. I reversed it so it was all white, assembled it, and I had written on projectveritas.com. And I looked at the mom and the kids just trying to have like a nice fall night, and I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to talk to you, but I just wrote that, and I kind of like walked in like a shadow, did that. Nobody's really paying attention. If it were me, I'd be like, the hell was that? Some guy came in, made a presentation, and left. What was that? I don't know if anybody looked at it or even noticed. The end.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd you go?
Who?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Here we go. This is just a small little tidbit of Mr. Finkelstein. Finkelstein. This is only like 7 minutes, but the full interview is like an hour long. But here we go.
I'm grab some grapes.
Get past the commercial.
So lately there has been.
That's a thingamajiggy. Liberal. Never mind. 1 second. There it is. Here we go.
We take the children of our enemy, which is the white race, and we bring them to the basements in the synagogue, where we drain their blood and watch them die there. It's very similar to how we do the sacrifices that we do with the kosher butchering, and so we do that, and then we mix it with the Passover bread, and so we eat the blood of our enemies. And the bodies, we're not cannibals. So what we do is we take those, because we can make some shekels, and we give them to the slaughterhouses, and those pounds and pounds and pounds of meat, we grind them in the sausage and the hamburger, and that's why we made those the most popular things, sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch. And so all the way up here are really eating the children. And even when we say this outright and tell you people, you don't believe it. So
yeah.
Yeah, and then my mom always used to say like, "Oh, you should get a job at McDonald's. It's your favorite place." Because I always, even when my mom lived in Peekskill, New York, there was a McDonald's close by, and I would do this similar thing. I just like being able to get my food while I'm in my car. There's something cool about that, like for me. Anyway, damn it. I yield my time because I forget. I yield my time. Wait. No, I take my time back. That's just a sensitive topic to me. McDonald's is I told you I work for a Warren Buffett company, Display Technologies. They make beverage merchandising products.
Yeah.
They're called Busy Slides, etc. But we then got to work with their sister companies under the Marmon umbrella. It's a Berkshire Hathaway company. Anyway, McDonald's, I have my name on a provisional, a patent pending, whatever. They wanted to double their production of their scrambled eggs, so they wanted to be able, because they knew like, oh, it's the COVID CO video 19 times, so they want to be able to. They expect that more people are going to hit the drive-through, and I got to work on and received in the mail their actual scrambler, which is a beautiful cast aluminum thing with a screw-on handle and rubber silicone things, and it's got 4 pockets, and it's just this beautiful thing. And I know the company that makes it, and I was working with them, and you know how fast I talk and how fast I am and everything, and I was like, you want a double production? How about it? Like we go faster than that. And I came up with some awesome stuff. Stuff that they could do now to use to make what their existing stuff is faster by making a little doodad here, this, that, and the other thing, and then anything under the sun up to like Nikola Tesla. I need your help with this one. And anyway, so that's just close to my heart because I enjoyed McDonald's. I knew it wasn't like healthy or anything, but I enjoyed the as a product designer, like it's a product, But I like that the single cheeseburger bun which has sugar in it. And it's like, wow, I like this. There's, you know, the sauces. I know the company that makes the delivery mechanism for the sauces. It's all like a, you know, you squeeze the trigger and it dollops it out perfectly, and they figure out how it should be and why it should be, and they don't waste anything. But it's also about the speed. Like, look how fast you could get 6 cheeseburgers and a large fries and a coffee. You know, even if they have to make you wait in the reserve spot, it's still fast. And then when you take it home and you're like, well, I don't care if I leave my cheeseburgers out, because like I felt like I used to say, like, I could take that to outer space, like it'll be fine, just reheat it. But it's like, anyway, all that. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Oh my God, all that to say, we have been eating this stuff. We're not dead yet. We're not dead yet.
Nope.
You know, that's it. We're not dead yet. So even though it's terrible to know the absolute truth,
Right.
have I gone back to McDonald's? No. But are we dead yet? Even though I used to eat a ton of it. Look at the Super Size Me documentary. I was thinking about that guy recently. I was like, oh my God. I wonder if now he's learning this stuff. I was like, oh my God, I was shoveling like you know, like I want to say like schools full of children into my body over the course of that documentary, like just like graduating class after graduating class. And then I don't want to make jokes about it because it's serious, but then it's like,
Serious,
whoa,
right?
you have to. Where did Angel go?
She's here.
I'm here.
She's eating too. She had to get something to eat. Cereal.
Yep. Gluten free.
I've been tearing up grapes lately. These grapes are so good. Oh,
Make sure you get the ones with the seeds.
Yeah, this is probably
Seedless
some plastic.
Anything seedless is genetically modified.
yeah, these are seedless. My bad.
Yeah, I had said it at some point during the war that I was looking at bananas like strippers, because that was when I first. It's like, oh man, money, food. I'm getting hungry. Wow, bananas are looking like strippers. And then you're learning, oh my God. Well, then I started not trusting the bananas. You know, like at 7-Eleven, they're so yellow. They're so yellow. What's inside my banana? And while those grapes sound delicious, it's like, are they even grapes? Back to you, and back to you in the studio.
No, they said, I mean, it's just anything that's seedless is genetically modified.
Dirty dogs. Well, these are product of USA. Surprising. Now he's got me thinking about my bananas over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Go on, Hawk.
When I left for my skate mission tonight to get these 2 beers, there was a black and white cat, and then when I returned home, the black and white cat was there again. So, I mean, it's my neighbor's cat, but I just thought it was cool that I got the cats, like the, I don't know, the cats, energy stuff. That's right. Back to you in the studio.
Quite the character, Digital.
Oh my God. I had to show you what Dan Scavino just shared.
Uh-oh. Good?
Yeah, it's going to remind you of Alan, though. Remember Alan?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. Brandon.
Russia. Russia.
Should be on Brandon.
Yeah. Let's go, Brandon.
Who'd ever thought? Could you believe that announcer that night too, trying to cover it up? You could clearly hear the crowd, and he's saying, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah.
I'm going crazy for you, liar.
Yeah, I was biting her in the ass.
Yeah.
So,
It took off.
what's going down in Chinatown?
At least you have Chinatown in New York.
I use that, like, if I hear sirens, I just use it as a blanket term. What's going down in Chinatown? Like, in the fair. What's going down? Is that crime? Is that crime? Let me tell you, one day, like, I don't know, in the middle of the war, I'll say, I popped out of my deck because I heard all these, I saw running teenagers in front of me, like here. I guess I spent too much time intelling and not sleeping. I pop out of my door. What is going on? And it's nighttime. I'm trying to identify. Is somebody like running from an assailant? Is somebody getting murdered? And my other neighbors were on the deck. I didn't know. I couldn't see them too much, and I just came out. And I yell over to my neighbors. I was like, "What's going on? Like, I need to know. Like, in case I need to help. I need to help." And I'm like, "Is this crime? Is this crime or is this fun?" And they're like, "They're playing hide and go seek." Oh my god! I've never seen a bunch of like what look like almost teenagers playing hide and go seek, and they were being aggressive about it. They're like really playing. And I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Oh, okay, awesome." Oh, it's just hide and go seek. But what's going down in Chinatown? That's where this all started. So I use it as a blanket term. Yeah, oh well, I went to Chinatown at the beginning of the war when New York City was it was a ghost town. And that girl that I talk about, she was like, "Let's go there." And so we did, and the drive was epic. I got to drive her car, and there was no traffic. So to get there was a dream beam. There was nobody in Chinatown. We got the city bike, and we went over the Manhattan Bridge. We got some awesome Chinese food from some special place. We saw that like one particular view that everyone takes a selfie, like with the cobblestone streets, and then there's some bridge in the background. Anyway, there was nobody there. We were like, if anybody wanted to be filming scenes for their movies, they should have been doing it then, or like amateur, And back to you, the studio, Angela.
Yeah, I mean, no one was out. I mean, it's just that's what woke me up. It's like the first. I mean, other than watching Fall of the Cabal, the first 14 days, I'm like, oh, and then after that, it's like, oh, now it's 45 days. I'm like, what the fuck, And I mean, it's just like that. They just push fear and more fear, and my sister. Like everybody I knew was just, it was just like, you have to, even my sister yelled at me, you have to be afraid of other people. I'm like, who are you?
Right.
Like, you are not my sister. Like, why are you afraid of nothing? Because that's what this is nothing.
I am. No,
We're no disease. We're the disease.
My neighbor, an older lady who's going blind and deaf, I ended up spending a lot of time with her because I was trying to help her. I was trying to make money, like helping her and like do odd jobs, and but then it became like, well, she was watching all the mainstream media, And I'm obviously not. Well, I do watch some of what they watch, etc. You know what I'm talking about. And then I was like, oh my god, I felt a responsibility because now we're getting close, and like you're cooking dinner for me, and or I, give you some of my stuff, and you cook, blah blah blah. We're getting close to the extent that she wants to watch some movie with some old lady and some young kid from it's an older film, and the kid always pretends to die or commit suicide, and then I think he ends up having sex with the older woman. Anyway, she really wants to watch this movie with me. I'm like, no, but also, I started sending
Is
her
that
my
Mrs.
links.
Robinson? Hey, you, Mrs. Robinson.
I probably It's an
Yeah.
older lady, and so you know.
The Graduate. The Graduate. Yeah.
Oh, The Graduate, I like.
Sounds-
Graduate's good. That was a good one. Not a nasty old lady. Anyway.
Yeah.
So then it's like, now I know what she wants. She wants to watch this movie with me, and I'm like, hell no. Number one, for obvious weird reasons. Number two, because you were Jabberwocky, and proximity to you. And I told her, I told her the rules changed. The study changed and says you're now a threat to me. And so, because you said to be afraid of people. Well, I'm not afraid, but no, I won't watch that movie with you, and I'm not spending time with you. If you don't have anything to say about the links that I send you that have to do with your imminent survival and others, then we have nothing to discuss. And hell no, I'm not watching that movie. Like if she came back and said, I watched your Project Veritas link, and I don't know, like I sent her the lemon and orange rind cure and the other stuff, the other thing with the paste. And because they're programmed by mainstream media, she was like, well, I don't know if I believe that. I was like, well, did you look at it? And it's like, what do you mean? You don't know if you believe that? Well, I know why you would say that.
Clearing it up.
I know exactly why you would say that, old lady. I know exactly why you would say that. Why would you reject something that is an absolute cure while she's telling me all of her woes and pains about her of trying to get appointments and doctor's appointments and this and that and the other thing? And I said, I know exactly what's going on. You don't. Let me explain to you the problems they're having. And it's like, they don't know. But then I'm like, okay, well, then go to the doctor's office, even though I told you, like, you don't need to go there. Go get this. Don't do that. They don't know what they're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Then she goes, oh, my God, like, she was going to get an MRI for something that she thinks she needs an MRI for. And I was like, please, can you just think about Native Americans? And, like, I think she knows of the Rainbow Gathering. She was at the Rainbow Gathering. She knows stuff like this. She's of that. She's been giving me, like, wildlife books and stuff. Like, she knows how to survive, but yet she's watching mainstream media, and she thinks, she's a minister of the peace order or some shit. But, like, even people that look at the health professionals. If Rockefeller University is their Bible and they go to their schools and the Bible says this, then how could it be wrong? Well, Rockefeller's a cocksucker, that's why. Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, Mara, back to you in the studio.
But yeah, if she just like, who is it? Gorbachev said, I'll take down America and I won't even have to fire a single bullet. I'll do it through the indoctrination of the children through your school. And it's exactly what they did. They just knew it was going to take a couple generations. That's why they got rid of civics in 1970. So. Right? Todd, you're frozen. Are we?
Todd, yeah, you're frozen. It's a mug shot.
Like,
they got
That's
rid of
true.
Honda Civics. They got rid of Honda Civics in the 1970s.
We did. I mean, it's just like, well, there's Todd. I had to remove
Hey.
this Todd. There's another Todd, so I had to kick that one. So,
Yeah.
the mugshot Todd.
Pardon me?
It looks like your pillow is the same color as your sweatshirt.
Yeah. Or he's just got his whole arm like.
No, I got a pillow behind me. My pillow is the same color as my shirt.
It's the same color.
Yeah.
Looks like you got your whole arm like.
It's my pillow curled up behind my head.
Freaking wow. Or he's wearing sweatpants and that's his leg. The same.
You only had 2 beers tonight?
I didn't even have 2 beers. Well, 25 ounce. I had one 25 ounce. I just cracked the second one. But this is like this is mostly water.
Yeah.
Mostly water.
He's here all week. Try the veal.
I was losing power. Again.
What?
Go ahead, Hawk. There he is.
Hawk. You must refer to me. My name is
Digital
Hawk. I can't have any copyright issues with an actual man named Hawk who I ripped his name off in public and told him about it. Mustang Medic actually said he liked my name, Digital Hawk, when he was on Liberty Warrior Nation. Enough about me.
I've seen people on my Telegram, some of the Telegram channels I'm on. The one girl, she likes your artwork.
What? Somebody likes your artwork?
This is someone liked Digital Hawk's artwork. She showed some of your She's like, I like Digital Hawk's artwork.
What
artwork?
What artwork?
Uh-oh.
It's like you were doing the little drawings and stuff you were showing, and and she screenshotted some stuff. So she name dropped you.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, get me that because I have to send that to my lawyers. I have a whole team of lawyers.
No, she's giving you a shout out. Yeah, your name's getting out there. So
that's cool. That's cool to hear because it's really easy to feel invisible, even though it's kind of like if you've ever ridden the subways and stuff or had that New York life. You're surrounded by so many people, and yet you're completely alone. You're like, there's so many. You're literally like a sardine can, but you're like, I'm alone. You're not. There's people there. Like, I learned that. I had to learn that. Like, you look and you learn to communicate. Like, we know how to do it with animals, but you can do it with people without words.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I don't know. Damn it. I was going to say back to you in the studio, Angel. We're going to do a little commercial break. We do commercials for spam. Don't buy it. I do have some. I bought some because it's in the name of science. So I said it'll last forever. I bought that at the beginning, right before they pushed us into remote work. So I guess it was March 2020. Where they kicked off in America that all the companies if you can work remotely, go work remotely.
Would you say spam's the meat of the apocalypse?
Yeah, I don't know. I did cook one up, but I fried the shit out of it, and I was like, I'll eat. I mean, I fried it, so I was like, this is in lieu of if I didn't have bacon, if I didn't have anything, and when you're hungry.
Oh yeah,
you're hungry. Yeah.
Right.
I
bought some today.
Go ahead.
I bought some of that pre-cooked bacon. That pre-cooked bacon. It's already cooked. I just been having a taste for a BLT.
Can you just do you have to refrigerate it?
Yeah. Actually, no, it was on the store shelf. It was already it's vacuum sealed.
Can you just open it and eat it?
Yep. Yep, you can warm it for a couple seconds in the micro. But yeah, it's already pre-cooked. Yeah, it's different. It's got good flavor too. Usually smoked.
Is it real bacon though?
Yeah, yeah, pork. Yeah, that's different.
That's pretty cool.
But you get like 8 slices for like $5.
Oh, that sounds like a
So
pretty good deal.
yeah, I guess for nowadays.
Well, now, what are you
Everything's
kidding me?
expensive.
Well, I don't know
I went
about
to
how big. Are they thick cut?
Yeah, they're all right. Have you gone to? You have a Wendy's in New York?
Yeah.
I went to Wendy's the other day. I got 2 singles and a small pop. It was $15. That was wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder. Oh man, yeah. Of course, we have Wendy's. We have McDonald's. I wonder if Wendy's is doing the same thing. Like maybe.
They probably all are. But like you said, we've eaten it for so long, we're still alive. You know.
What I wanted to say was, like I can't spend any money. I have no money, but I know what it. I recently know what it's like to order on Grubhub or get a delicious Grandma alla vodka pizza delivered to my door.
Mhm.
And I technically could. Like my credit card is amazing. It's just like, I have no money, but like, I could order this, and boom, food comes to my
Yeah.
door. But I'm like, I
Right.
can't be. It's almost like gambling at this point. So don't be a retard. But then you're like, but I'm hungry, and I know
I
how
know.
almost it's not instantaneous. It's actually faster to go take my lazy ass like 10 steps to the kitchen and just grab a scoop of peanut butter or something,
Right.
and
Something
then
said.
think about it. So
Yep.
so it's really tough. Like it's tough, but that's a first world problem. Like that's your lazy
Convenience.
broken
Convenience.
robot. Yeah. No, well, we love convenience. The thing about all of our modern stuff is that it's not bad, especially when you're very busy. Let's say you're running companies or you
Right.
have any kind of company, whether it's like a white collar or blue collar or dirty like farmer collar, any kind of collar. You're busy. All of our conveniences are awesome. Like
Time is money, right?
I can order my food and have like my groceries delivered. Awesome. But they're using it now under the guise of fear, and it is part of their plan. Like it's not an accident.
Yeah.
How did all this stuff just pop up and it exists?
Mhm.
Look at Amazon. All of a sudden, like, oh no, COVID hit. Oh, but we have it. It's all together. They had
Overnight. Yeah.
non-branded trucks. Non-branded. It's not
Mhm.
Amazon Prime trucks. It's just like boom, they already had them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was awesome. I mean, I loved Amazon until I, started learning stuff. And back to you.
I mean,
Secret
Walmart.
Angel.
Walmart was also the only one you could go to. You could go Walmart. You could shop from Amazon. You can do all that stuff, but you couldn't go into like little mom and pop stores. You couldn't do anything. But it's like they monopolized the whole thing.
Well, COVID knew not to go in little Walmarts and them.
No. I mean, people were packing in Walmart like they were, going out of style, and everybody was wearing the diaper except for the Amish.
Right. You could go 600 deep in Walmarts, but you couldn't go to mom and pops.
Nope.
2 people could go to mom and pops. It didn't make sense. It was
No,
hurt the
no.
people.
Yep.
That's all it did too.
I'm gonna pray us out, and I'm going to bed because I'm tired. So,
All right.
Take us out, Hawk. Digital.
Angel.
yes. Alrighty. Dear Yahweh and Yahshua, thank you for another day, another opportunity to make the world a better place. It's a whole lot better than making it worse. So please watch over everybody here, everybody listening on the panel, all the patriots out there, especially President Trump, his team, his family, the Q team, the Anons, the autists. And please watch over all the children. Please heal Vicky, get her better. Please watch over Giggles and her mama, Silver Girl, Digital Hawk, his area. And please watch over Todd and Cupcake and everyone out there. Please make sure that they're safe, they're happy. The and that this war gets over soon and we have another 1,000 years of peace. Amen.
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 Good night. Good night, dear
Nice,
Angel.
nice to meet you.
Be
Night.
safe, people.
Good
Love
night.
y'all.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gizmo. Bye, Gizmo. Bye. Bye, Gizmo. Bye.
Bye, Gizmo.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Gizmo. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. 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 There you go. Yeah. Bye, Gizmo.
Bye. Remember, everybody, where we go one, we go all. United we stand, divided we fall. If we lose this country, we have no one but ourselves to blame. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Angel of Yahweh, out.